the holiday is like multiple meanings because, you know, in like the UK or like in other places, a holiday is a vacation. So it's like
Correct.
the holiday and it's during the holidays and
It's genius is what it is. Pure genius.
pure genius.
On holiday.
Oh my God, you're gonna be obsessed with it.
Well, you had the damn Driving Miss Daisy theme in my head too.
How?
Do 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 do. Yeah, there's not a lot of quotable lines in the holiday.
I literally cannot think of one.
Oh, I can think of one thing I'll be doing a lot in this podcast.
Dude.
Okay, that's one. The second one was going to be, Daddy, take a coat, Daddy.
Oh, they're
Daddy,
cute, though.
can you get me some hot chocolate with the marshmallows?
I mean, they're cute little English kids, though.
Yes, but I'm going to be doing that accent quite a lot. I mean, I guess I can say this. So it took me some time to get through this one, and I don't know if that's my fault because I shouldn't be watching it, or if it's the movie's fault because even if I'm not part of the demographic, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. You're saying, am I the person that they want to be watching this? And even
Right.
if I'm not the person they want to be watching this, shouldn't I still be able to get through the movie?
Yeah. But I guess that's not actually true because I'm sure that we'll find movies that are just so out of what we
Well,
like.
I already know
Out of
that
our
there will
taste.
be movies
Yes.
out of my taste that I'm going to be like, this is awful, and I don't know how I'm going to get through this.
In this season?
No. I'm just saying in general.
That are on the list.
There
You
is
see
many
they're
in
on
this
the list.
season.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying in general that there's going to be a lot of movies that it's going to be like, well, this is just garbage. I don't even know what to talk about with this. But we just kind of talk about the movies that we wanted to do, but then we went, no, we're not discussing this.
But there wasn't enough to talk about.
Right.
I think we would have to because we would have to give a shelf life verdict still.
Exactly. There needs to be a verdict, however. You're not going to get a whole episode on it.
Which house do you think was more expensive? Of the 5 houses that we see, whose house do you think is the most
You see
expensive?
5 houses?
Yeah. Because you see all 4 of theirs, and you see the old man's.
I only can count 4 houses. Who's the 5th house?
Okay, you see Jack Black's house.
No.
Because he's doing the recording.
Oh, yeah, that
Down the
part.
piano.
Yeah. Okay.
Kate Winslet's
No.
cottage.
Potential to be up there.
Yeah, I don't think Jack Black's is the priciest.
No, I
You
think
have-
his is lower,
You have Cameron Diaz's mansion.
which is very expensive.
You have Arthur's mansion.
Which I think is less expensive.
Less
Because I think he
expensive,
doesn't really
yeah.
care as much.
You go in and it smells like
Property
an old man.
value, high. Actual house value, lower.
Yeah.
Because he's
And
like,
then
meh.
you have the mansion, cottage, whatever, village,
Yeah,
whatever it was called.
his home. Yeah. I forgot about, the brother's home.
These fucking people. These rich
I don't think
bastards.
his isn't a mansion. His is just like a house.
He has it's a huge house. That is a big
Bedroom,
house
2
he's
bath,
got.
maybe?
Oh no.
You think 3 bedroom?
I know that the girls are sharing a bedroom, but his office, in and of itself,
his office is cool though. I
is
like
gigantic.
it's look at all the books on the wall. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a front room though. It's not like an office.
So
anyways,
it's gotta be
I don't
Cameron
know.
Diaz, right?
I would assume hers is the absolute most expensive.
And
then the
one thing-
brothers, then
Yeah.
then the country cottage,
The cottage.
and
Jack
then oh, I forgot about Arthur's is probably more expensive than Jack Black's. Jack Black's is on the bottom.
I think so too. Because I can't tell. Okay, I guess we have to get it.
We have to
all that, right?
explain who these characters
Okay.
are and why we're
Okay.
talking about their houses.
All right. Hello, everybody. A happy holidays to all of you. I assume if you're listening to this again around the holidays. I am Kevin,
I am Rachel.
and this is Shelf Life, a podcast where a brother and sister team trade houses on every Christmas time and determine whether or not we like that house better. But actually, really, what we do is we go through all things pop culture of all different types of genres. That includes movie, TV, books, yada, 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 you get the idea. And we determine whether or not that subject belongs on your shelf. And today, we have a interesting kind of a counter, continuing here on Volume 3. We've got kind of a counter stretch here of stuff
counter stretch?
I couldn't think of what it was called. Counter program? Kind of like a counter program.
I don't even know what that means.
Because, like, we got all this sci-fi junk. We've got action. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's not... Yeah. So, like, now we got a romance. So, they call this a romantic comedy. In my opinion, it is light on the comedy. It is heavy on the romance.
Yeah, no, I have the same feelings on this.
Rachel, what is up for contention to the shelf today?
The Holiday. The classic. The Holiday. I feel like I had to say it that way.
Classic. Yes. People call this a classic.
They do. And then there's other holiday classics that are romance movies, Kevin, that I did not have us do yet, that I don't really want to watch.
Are we doing the extent of the Hallmark Channel? Is that what you're saying?
All of the Hallmark movies, every single one of them. Good luck.
I think that's a separate podcast.
That's definitely a separate podcast in and of itself.
As much as we've said we're going to do this for the rest of our lives, and we're going to try to cover as much as humanly possible, if we tried to embark on the Hallmark movies themselves, that's a different lifetime. We would need to be reincarnated.
Yes. It's like trying to do Law and Order. You got Law and Order is a whole nother podcast. You got the Hallmark Channel's another podcast. You got it's too much. We could do a couple, but it's too much.
It's too much. So yes, we are doing Nancy Meyer's The Holiday from 2006. It's I think a lot of people do think of this as being something that they watch around the holidays. I think that it's a well-liked movie by a certain group of people. And it's definitely different than what we've done. I mean, we did one romance movie in Ghost.
Yes.
But this is definitely a bit different.
That was more of a romantic drama.
Yeah, Ghost had some... This is pure romance.
Yes.
That is
with a little comedy sprinkled in, but I wouldn't go as far as saying rom-com.
Yes, agreed. So Rachel, as I usually do, I will pose it to you, or I'll kind of pass it off. So 2 things, you can start either way. What is your history with the holiday, and what is the holiday about?
Well, history-wise, I don't really know if I have a history.
Have you seen this before?
I have seen this before.
Okay.
Yes, probably a couple of times. I would assume, it's on TV. I've probably just threw it on. So I don't really have a history with it. I've seen it. That's about it. But it is a movie about 2 women from different parts of the world that need to get away from their lives and kind of fall into each other's lap and go, okay, wait, we can switch houses for the holiday, and, stuff happens during their vacation.
Stuff happens. They're searching for their...
They're kind of, I think they both want to get out of their lives to either be somebody else or not have to be them for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of the idea, is just to kind of get away from everything because something bad happened that made them want to just get away.
And they want to do some introspection.
Yeah, maybe a little.
Yeah.
I think they want to, but I don't know if they actually do. But
they don't. Yeah, I can't tell if that was really their goal, because they don't really end up doing that. But yeah,
right. Yeah.
But
that's about it. That's my that's
a good summary. I think it's.
But yeah, now I don't have history, but you do kind of have a little story. Do you want to tell that now? Do you want to tell it at the end?
Okay. No, I think it's appropriate to tell now, because I think it helps to explain where I am coming from as a male, as a straight white male in his mid-30s, who clearly the target demographic for this movie.
Oh, that's you. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think Nancy Meyers made this specifically for me. So it makes sense for me to be the one judging it on this. That's why it's you and me, Rach, because we have different perspectives on different movies. And if it was just, it helps. It helps. I will say maybe we'll have to
We haven't had too much sibling rivalry yet, but...
Not yet. Well...
Not too much.
So yeah, we haven't had too much.
I'm kind of excited for those. That'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll get there, probably. Looking at the list and the card. There's a chance we might end up having to, like, get some commentary from one of the other people that I'm going to, talk about it on this.
Oh, yeah, that would be kind of great.
If their opinion has changed or say the same, if they think the holiday has shelf life or not.
Right.
And or give their own perspective. This movie came out in 2006. It came out in December of 2006? It had to have, right? Because that's the whole point.
The way you said that? I would assume.
Hang on, I gotta look. December 10th, 2006. Okay. So yeah, came out in the middle of December 2006. Which makes sense. It's a holiday-based movie. It's a Christmas-themed movie. And if you go to the store during Christmas, pick a store. This movie will be right up there on the rack with your Elves and your Christmas Vacations and your Christmas Stories as a movie to buy.
Right.
They include this almost as like the romance movie of Christmas.
Right.
It's
unless you're gonna just watch the Hallmark Channel. I mean, this is the movie.
Probably yeah. So it's 2006. I'm one of my friends' girlfriends, Rachel's rival,
football rival.
Yes. Fantasy football rival.
Okay.
Well,
specifics.
Just,
I know.
Sure they don't think that you're both coaching, peewee teams or
you
something.
Never know.
Which
you
I
never
would
know.
I think we could write that script.
Oh, that sounds kind of fun.
Where he's like really serious about it, and he's like the head honcho like football coach.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
You want to coach. It's basically Little Giants.
And I just have like the cute little kids, and I'm just like, all right, guys, we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah, Little Giants on the list, folks. It's on there.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me write that down. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Brand new book. I got this.
Yes, I got for the holidays. I got Rachel a new and improved list for Shelf Life.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, laminated and everything. It's not laminated, but
it's a hardcover.
It's hardcover. So, it was his girlfriend's birthday, and as you do at the time, he asked if I wanted to go with them and a couple of our other friends to dinner for her birthday and a movie, and I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I was used to playing the third wheel or fifth wheel. I still am. And I was fine going to dinner and the movie. But I didn't think to ask what the movie was going to be. Because as a teenager, you don't care what the movie is.
No,
you just go to the movies.
That wasn't the time where you just go to the theater and go, what's playing? Yeah, let's go see that.
Yeah, I mean, you had to have a relatively...
Yeah.
You had to look it up online, but you looked it up before you went. Yeah.
Because I even had, like, when I was a teenager, we would be at the mall and then be like, oh, what's playing? And then we're like, do you want to go see a movie? We could go see that. And then we just go.
So the dinner we went to an Italian restaurant. I think we just got pizza, but I could not tell you what we got specifically. But we went to an Italian restaurant.
The details.
And there was well, all right, so here's the thing. I would think by now everyone has an idea of like what kind of movies I tend to go see in theaters. Not necessarily I like a wide variety of movies. There's really only a couple of genres that I don't. I had a coworker once ask me what kind of genres I don't like, and I was like, and she was like, is it rom-coms? And I was like, I guess, yeah. But actually going to the theater, it's probably a little more dwindled down. There was one time, Rachel, where we were going to the movies in high school with like a group of girls, as you do, and the one girl, the girl I had a crush on in high school,
do I go, ooh?
Yeah, don't worry, nothing happened. So she told either the group of girls or whoever, they had picked the movie, and she knew me pretty well, said, I don't remember what the movie was, but said, Kevin is not going to go to that movie. So I didn't even say anything. She preemptively switched it. So anyway, during dinner, I remember asking, so what movie are we going to see? And I don't remember what else came out in December 2006. Folks, do your own research. Rachel's about to do it. She's going to go see what we could have seen instead. And my friend's girlfriend said, I want to go see The Holiday. She was very, very soft-spoken girl. And we were like, what is that? Like, we have to go see The Holiday. And I think one of us knew what it was and was like, ah, boy, okay. So we went. We went in, we sat down. There were some other people there, mostly older people, adults. So I spent money. I spent 2006 movie admission ticket prices on this. And at some point during the 2-hour and 15-minute runtime, I fell asleep. One of my other friends fell asleep. We were going like stir crazy during parts of this movie because it was just like, oh my God, it's so long. So I have only seen this movie once. I saw it as a teenager, and I fell asleep. So this is...
Second viewing.
This is a second viewing. I will withhold all my judgment and opinions. I mean, you guys know how this goes. We never really do. But...
You get an idea of what we're probably going to say at the end.
But I will let you all know what kind of experience I had watching the movie this time. I only watched it once. I didn't do it twice because I didn't have time to do it.
It's also very telling, though, I think.
It might be, yeah. I watched Phantom Menace twice, so...
Pretty much watched that one like 3 times. Still didn't understand what the hell I was watching.
Did you look up what other movies came out in December of 2006 that we could have seen instead?
For December 2006, movies.
Okay,
I'm assuming early on December, so like
first second week of December.
The Pursuit of Happiness.
Okay.
Rocky Balboa.
Okay.
Night at the Museum.
Okay.
Aragon. The Good Shepherd, Dreamgirls, Notes on a Scandal, Blood Diamond, The Nativity Story, We Are Marshall, Apocalypto, Children of Men,
oh, okay,
Black Christmas, The Pink Panther, Touristas.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either. The Queen, The Good German, Letters from Iwo
Jima.
Oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. Letters from Iwo. God damn it! Hold on. Letters from
We're
Iwo
looking
Jima.
for a you Swiss Arjiwo.
Curse of the Golden Flower, Breaking and Entering, The Painted Veil, Unaccompanied Minors, and Air Buddies.
So Air Buddies would have been our best bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I got nothing.
So anyway. Yes, that's my story of the holiday, of me going to see The Holiday. I'm sure there's more detail and stuff that I'm leaving out, but I remember it was one of the theaters that has the seats.
The old seating.
Well, no, it was stadium seating. It definitely was older seating, but it had the cup holder you could pull up.
Oh yeah.
You know, for easy access for
They still
couples.
do that. Yeah, they still do that.
Oh, the theater by me doesn't. I don't think so.
The Cinemark by us does.
Really?
You can pull the arm up.
Oh, interesting.
It looks like you can't, but you can.
I know that one of my friends, like, literally pulled a couple of those up and just stretched out and fell asleep. Now you have the recliners in some of the luxury loungers.
Right, where you could just, like, have the warm seat, pull it back,
warm
bring a
that
blanket,
up, pull that
you know.
up. Oh, yeah, fall right asleep. Spend $15 to take a nap.
That's right.
So, I don't have a ton of background information on The Holiday, as much as we usually do. There's not a lot out there for this one. I watched kind of like a behind-the-scenes thing. I watched a little bit about it. But I can probably explain a little bit about the director, and then the actors that came together for this.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
The director is Nancy Myers, and she is a fairly prolific director. I can name some of the stuff that she has done. I think a lot of this is on the list. She wrote Father of the Bride and Father of the Bride Part 2. She wrote The Holiday. She wrote The Parent Trap, the Lindsay Lohan one. Mm-hmm. She directed It's Complicated, Something's Gotta Give, What Women Want, and The Parent Trap. So she definitely writes and directs kind of female
female directed like movies,
like stuff that definitely would appeal to like a women
more emotional movies type of thing, or
romance movies, romantic comedies. I mean, outside of The Parent Trap, all of those I would say are like romantic comedy type of movies.
Well, even The Parent Trap though has the romance part.
Yeah,
to
that's
it,
true. The
but
Parent
it's
Trap
more
also
directed
has
towards
like a romantic comedy.
kids and romance.
Yeah, it's a family picture, but it's got a romantic comedy plot.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean that's what she's known for. The behind the scenes stuff makes her seem a little bit like almost like perfectionist.
Okay.
So I think she's known for taking a lot of takes. She does multiple takes like time and time and time again. I don't think like Stanley Kubrick level, but like crazy amount of like take and like do it different. Like let's get a bunch of different takes. She seems very particular on like how she like has a vision of like how she wants things to be.
Right.
But also is like kind of lets the actors be a little bit loose. So I think that's why it's interesting, because she wrote the 4 main characters with all 4 of these actors in mind.
Right. That's what I was wondering, because that's probably what helped.
So I think it's interesting that all 4 of them said yes. I mean, it's Nancy Meyer's. I mean, when she's obviously like established, so it's not like, oh, I don't know who you are, I'm not going to join this. But like Kate Winslet was huge,
right?
At the
yes.
time, Cameron Diaz was pretty big too. I think Jude Law and Jack Black actually might have been lesser known between the 4 of them.
Yeah. Because it's definitely like the younger Jack Black and like everything too. So,
well, I guess what happened was she saw School of Rock and thought that Jack Black would be good for the part, so she wrote it.
Oh, that's
after
so
she
interesting.
saw School of Rock. Add that to the list. You have to say it. Did it with those guys in mind. They all decided to join up, and I think it just became kind of a thing where they wanted to make this movie, and it comes together like any other movie does. It's just that it's such a straightforward romantic comedy drama that there's not a ton of like, oh yeah, and this is how they put this together, like stuff for us to really go through in the background of it. I can say scores are a big deal in this movie.
Yes, music.
This is a Hans Zimmer score. I actually think it's a good score.
No, it's nice. Yeah, it's nice to listen to.
It's a very pleasant score. It doesn't sound like a Christmas score.
No.
There's no bells and...
Well, I mean, it is a bit, like, lighter, so it's on, like, the higher end, so it's not, like, super deep and, like, bassy.
True. Yes, it's not an action movie Hans score, but it is the sets and everything. So they built Kate Winslet's cottage in this.
I love that cottage, though. I'm gonna point that one out. It's so cute.
They built that up from nothing. And then the Cameron Diaz house is a bunch of sets that they kind of built together. So some production design there, some different visual techniques that Nancy Meyers uses. I guess they also were filming it in the middle of that kind of wind. They just kind of wrote it into the...
Oh, so they let it be like a thing. Oh, that's kind of fun, though, that they had, like, incorporated it.
Yeah. I think that was probably the only thing they could do, because everyone else would be like, why the hell is it so windy?
Right. It fit, though, because it kind of worked for what they went for in it, incorporating it. We'll get to that.
Jack Black says a line that allows it to be part of that. So, with that being said, is there any other background that you want to give for the holiday, Rachel, before we go through the walkthrough?
I don't think we need it. I think we can just jump right in with this one.
The holiday speaks for itself.
That's right.
Okay. So then when we come back after a word from our fake sponsor, we will get into the holiday.
Rebecca Green was just your average 20-year-old until the father she never knew left her something she never expected.
Don't scream.
Your father left you something in his will.
I never met my father.
Well, at least now you know he was interesting.
Lindsay Lohan, James Franco. Deception.
How do you happen to have 2 guns?
Didn't think one would be enough.
Christmas Day.
And we're back with Shelf Life Volume 3 to discuss The Holiday from 2006. So, Rachel, this is going to be a little bit different. I think am I still doing the play-by-play here with this being more of a female-led film?
No, I think it'd be more fun to see your perspective on it. So yes,
great.
But I do want you to take us step by step. If you have to, I will also chime in when need be. I promise.
let's just start by saying this. I watched this while I was at my parents' to watch this, and my mom texted you something while I was trying to get it done. Do you wanna say what she texted about me watching this before we were able to do this?
It says, Kevin's watching Holiday. He has an hour to go, trying to get through it.
Yeah, so that might tell you. These people are in the 1%.
Yeah.
These are some wealthy bastards in this
Kate
movie.
Winslet might not be, though.
I don't know. We'll get to this cottage, Rachel. I think it's a
I
$1
love
million
her
house.
cottage.
This house would be $1 million.
I don't know what the realtor market is in England.
In Surrey, England. Sure.
I mean, it might be cheaper. It's a very adorable little cottage, though. I do like it.
All right, our English listeners, please let us know.
And
what would a
all
cottage like
most of them
this-
are all brick. So I was gonna say like an all brick cottage. Yeah, they all are.
But even in 2006, what would a cottage like this have gone? Because I have a feeling she either inherited this thing. How did she?
I kind of want to
like
say
this?
maybe 300, maybe 4.
Oh,
I don't think a million.
I think it's up there.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I think all these people are.
The way you warm the house with a fire. I don't even think she has like heating and cooling.
Central heating, yeah.
Which is probably also normal, but still.
But that's the charm of it, though, because it's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I like it. It's adorable. I would go there. I would have chosen the same place.
I think Jack Black is the most middle class one of them all.
Agreed.
Because I can't tell if he's a successful composer
I
or
think.
not.
I think.
I think he's
Okay.
up and coming.
Yeah, I think. Well.
Okay, should we get into it?
Yeah.
We can go into this as we
We're
explain.
talking about these things, and people are like, "What?"
Okay,
Who?
so the movie starts. It's a nice score to start, as we mentioned. It's a Hans Zimmer score, and as the score starts, there's a couple kissing.
Yes.
They're kissing by like a river or something like that, and it backs out, and you find out it pans out, and you find Jack Black is composing the score for that scene. So he's a movie composer. We get right off the bat. Clearly, this is all inspired by Hans Zimmer, this character. So, like, what do you think? What do you think this is? He doing a movie? Do you think this is like a TV show? I'm just trying to gauge. Like, do you think he's like an up and coming composer?
He probably does. I have a feeling he does a lot of different things. So he probably does movies and TV shows. But I think this is a movie. Movies were way more prominent back then. TV shows are way more prominent now. But I think this is definitely a movie that he's working on.
I mean, it could.
I think he's working on a romance movie.
Yes.
In a romance movie.
Oh, how meta.
Yes.
Of The Holiday.
Thank you.
The Holiday gets meta a few times. It does that a few times with all the Hollywood shit in it. So Kate Winslet starts with some narration. She's talking about all of this, what she thinks love is. I couldn't tell what she's doing. Is this part of her article? Because we find out later that Kate Winslet is a writer for the Daily Telegraph. I think that's the right paper in London. So I'm not sure if this is part of the article or is she just narrating? Because I don't think there's narration again.
I think it could be an article, but I mean, she is writing an article later. She's like finishing one, so it could be a part of that same article.
Yeah.
Or it's just self-reflection, and she's just kind of thinking about these things during this time.
Okay, and we just get this narration out of like just shits and gigs, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of how I'm seeing it, at least.
I'm gonna say this: she seems like she's full of shit. Because she's talking about how great love is and all of this crap, and I don't think she believes a single word of it. And that's maybe where I think maybe it could be part of the
character in the article.
I don't know, because she ends it with with all these different types of love, and like hers is unrequited.
Yes, she's showing different types of love. She's showing different types of love. I think she does believe in love. I think she 100% believes in love, this character. But she's like telling us different types of love and how like these things come together and blah blah blah, right? That's and then it goes to her type of love in her life.
Uh-huh.
So, I don't know. It could be a part of the article. We aren't really told. We aren't told if it's a part of the article. We don't really get to see what she's writing in this article. So I can't be like, yes, it is. We know this article is about love in the holidays.
At the end of the day, it probably doesn't matter. But...
It doesn't. But I think it's just to establish the characters and the love that they currently have in their lives.
Okay, got it. Understood. So Jack Black, keeping in mind that he's like a younger Jack Black here, so he has a baby face in this, doesn't he?
He really does. He's
I don't
like,
ever
he
remember
is
him
little...
looking this baby faced.
No. I don't even think in School of Rock he looked this baby faced.
Yeah, they almost make him look more fresh faced in this.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be that middle class kind of guy.
Yes, and he has outkicked his coverage here big time with this girlfriend.
Who is, I can't think of the actress's name.
You know this girlfriend?
She's from A Knight's Tale. I don't know when A Knight's Tale came out. I literally just watched this the other day. Speaking of, like, corny movies. I can't think of her name.
So taking a look at it, Shannon Sossaman might be it? You said she's in
Oh,
what
yeah.
movie?
So maybe she pulled her from A Knight's Tale. So A Knight's Tale is why I know who she is. And that was a movie she did with Heath Ledger.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's
Yeah,
also
'cause-
like a romance, but in the time of knights and like.
Is it really?
Yes.
I didn't know A Knight's Tale was a romance. I guess with
Well,
Heath Ledger. I
it
probably
kind of
guessed
is,
that.
but it's like Heath Ledger is like the main dude, and then he falls in love with her,
Gotcha.
and so like it becomes like that's like their romance. So it's kind of a romance, but it's also just kind of like about knights and
I think, is she also the
being a
girlfriend in-
peasant turning into a knight.
Oh, and she's also the girlfriend or the love interest in 40 Days and 40 Nights, which is a movie where Josh Hartnett is not allowed to expunge.
Okay, gross. Stop.
Yeah. I said
yeah,
it as
so-
nicely as I could.
So she was in a couple of like romantic type of things. So I'm wondering if that's why she was chosen.
Yeah,
because she's
probably.
kind of like those
Yeah.
types of things.
It's her wheelhouse. That's Jack Black's girlfriend, and you can tell that Jack Black is head over heels for her
Yes.
in this first little scene. Love is blind. That is something I know to be true, says Kate Winslet in the opening narration about this. And our opening credits roll as we go through our four main characters.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron Diaz is in a car with some guy. They both look unfulfilled and not happy
Yeah.
as they drive through the streets of LA. There's Christmas lights up to let us know what time of year it is.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get an old man. His wife clearly gone.
Five main characters.
Do you count the old man as a main character?
I am going to count the old man as a main character because I like that part of the story.
Yeah, I actually I'll talk
like
about it.
him.
But he was
So
he was
yes,
the
he's
most
a main
moving,
character for me.
He was the most moving part of the movie for me.
Oh my god, yes.
I'll get to it.
We'll
but
tell
yeah.
you why. But I mean, like, yeah, it's talking about how he looks at an older picture of his wife, who we assume kind of passed, and it's like that's his love.
Yeah, before he goes to bed. And then Jude Law getting some tail. He is out in the town.
Hey.
And yeah, he looks at this woman across the pub. So here's the thing. Kate Winslet at this part says that something about love, even if it's just for one night,
Right.
that's not love.
It's lust, but I mean,
It's lust.
you can see it as like in a love type of way. You get that like the flutters and the excitement, and then it just becomes a one night stand. But you get the same kind of like that's a type of love. It's lust. So I agree with her. It is a type of love.
I disagree, but that's just me.
It's the
I think she's
beginning,
full of it.
and it just doesn't go anywhere.
And it doesn't go anywhere. All right, that's fine. That's your opinion. Folks at home, let us know who's right. I think I'm right about this one.
You always
Then-
think you're right. Why do you have a podcast? It's your podcast. Of course you always think
It's my
you're right.
podcast. I'm right. And then we get to Kate Winslet, and she says that hers is the unrequited love. So she's the unloved one. She's She compares herself to handicapped people because she says that she's like the handicapped without the benefit of a good parking space.
I missed that. Oh god, old movies.
Because she's talking about those of us that fall in love alone, one-sided affair, blah 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 blah. And then she says something about the handicapped without the advantage of a great parking space.
What? Oh my god, I apologize on behalf of this movie. Because that's just really bad.
Just have to yell at Nancy Myers for that.
What the hell were you thinking for that line?
I just said, get over yourself, lady. Like,
I say that later, but
I say it a few times. This character is pathetic.
Well, it doesn't become pathetic until you find out that it's been 3 fucking years. Now she's pathetic. Like, I could see if, like, oh, it just happened type of thing, but no.
I've had crushes. I've had several crushes on several girls over the years, both real and celebrity and fiction. And I will tell you this, I've been hung up on some of them, but like this is insane. This woman is a psychopath.
I wouldn't go so much as being baby cake psychopath. I wouldn't do that
No
much.
one is that far gone. On the list, by the way.
Definitely on the list.
I love that movie.
Finally, a rom-com Kevin loves.
Not for the reasons everyone thinks. I watch it like it's a horror
Oh, I can't
film.
wait for that now. No, but I don't think she's a psychopath, but I do think someone needs to slap her in the face. Like, come on, the guy's a prick.
So, Rufus Zool is playing this prick. He is her boss? I don't think he's her boss.
No, they're just colleagues.
Okay,
They're just
yeah.
colleagues.
He's just another writer. He's writing a book, I guess is what we find out.
He's like a novelist more so, yeah.
I'm sure he writes for the paper, but he's writing like some, historical or not, nonfiction thing or something like that. She says these have been the absolute worst years of her life. Nights brought on by tears and Valium.
He's also in A Knight's Tale.
Oh, is he really?
forgot.
Maybe it's the same casting director.
He's the bad guy.
He's the bad guy in everything. He has been typecast as a heel across the board.
Maybe he likes that.
I would love it. I pretty much play a heel here at Shelf Life. So yeah, just cast me as a heel. I don't care. They get paid better.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rufus Zool, he's a heel and everything. I do wonder though if that means that it's the casting director is the same as the one from
It could
Knight's Tale.
be.
Because that that might make more sense as to why
There's like 2 actors, yeah.
So he won't love her back. And I'm taking a look at Kate Winslet. And I'm taking a look at Rufus Zool. And I gotta say, she could do better. No offense to Rufus Zool.
No.
Now, a fun little fact. Apparently the two
Kate
of them...
Winslet looks so pretty. I think she's very pretty.
The two of them
It's
used
hard
to
not to.
date in real life at some point.
Well, I could see that. He's like a very he's like the very English handsome.
Oh, is that what you would call it?
I think that's how I'm gonna call it.
Okay. What would you call Jude Law if he's English
Very handsome.
Okay.
He's good looking.
All right.
He's just handsome.
I do like that you have to qualify it. He's
Well,
English
I think it's just
handsome.
because you're saying like he's not attractive, but I think he has like
A distinguished
pieces that
quality.
He's very distinguished,
Yeah.
and that's what I mean. So like for
He's-
my English friends listening to this,
he's well
that's what
put
I
together.
mean by that. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got like the pieces that he looks English. He's very proper. He looks very distinguished. Those types of things. So it makes him like handsome. It makes him very attractive. But yes, Jude Law. Handsome.
Well, yeah, I mean, come on. Fuck. He's Dumbledore. Doesn't
You know,
get
the
much-
beard.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, before we do it, okay, I want a shelf life poll. Get this on social media. What's better? The Holiday Jude Law or Dumbledore Jude Law?
You should tweet this right now.
Yeah, hashtag Graham Jude Law, hashtag Dumbledore Jude Law. Young Dumbledore can get it, Rachel.
No, he looks great. But I like beards. I have a bias towards beards on guys. I think they make them look better.
No, young Jude Law in this. That's why I want to know. Okay, where are we? So she steals. She swipes a drink from her coworker, and this girl is just smoking at this Christmas party. I don't know. It's 2006!
in England. In London.
You think that the English had... I guess so, yeah. Because I was going to say, here in America, we had already outlawed all of that.
We didn't really outlaw it, but...
I don't think
to
you would
a
have been...
point.
I don't care
You
if
can't
it's a
do it
Christmas
inside.
party. You're not doing it at a place of work.
Yeah, probably not.
Get out of here.
I don't know. I think you could probably go into, like, a news place back then, and people would be smoking.
Well,
Typing their shit and smoking.
Yes, okay, that's fair. I expect, much like the Daily Planet in Superman, that the cigarettes were abundant.
And the whiskey.
And yes. But by 2006, maybe this was the last
Probably
refuge of the smoking at work was probably a newsroom. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Any journalists out there, let us know. People still smoking at their typewriters.
They probably vape.
Oh, that's true. That's gross. That's not as glamorous.
Is any of it glamorous?
No.
I don't think so. I'll give you my hot take on that one. None of it's glamorous. I don't like any of it.
Rachel is in a lot of she's doing a lot of anti-smoking and vaping ads for the podcast networks. Okay, so let me get this straight. This story that she tells here. So she was sleeping with Rufus Zool, whose name is Jasper, so we can call him Jasper.
Yes. So Jasper.
And fell in love with him. Okay. Then found out that he was sleeping around.
Well, he was sleeping with another person. I don't think he was sleeping around.
He was sleeping with somebody. Okay.
Right.
So were they dating, or was this just a hookup and she thought they were dating and he didn't? Because they discuss it for a couple of minutes and they say like he cheated on her.
Right.
And I believe that. I just want to make sure that I understand it correctly, and that I'm giving Kate Winslet all the credit here, and that this guy is just a huge prick who was cheating on her.
I have a feeling.
Yes.
Here's my take. Here's
Okay.
my take on the relationship. I don't think they had
A Rachel rant coming in. Here we go.
Let me get on my box.
Get that fucking torpedo ready.
I don't think they ever had like the relationship talk. So I think it started probably off as just a sexual relationship. I don't think he thought, at least, Jasper probably did not think that they were in a monogamous relationship, is my guess.
Okay, because she does say that she told him I love you 3 or 4 times.
Yep.
At that point, you kind of have to get the hint if you're Jasper.
I would think so, but also knowing how manipulative this guy is.
Also, this guy,
he probably
huge douche.
could have cared less.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I love you too. Now let's go get him to bed.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I think is happening.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
So I think she's way more into it.
He does manipulate her quite a bit.
Oh my god, I hate him.
Yeah.
I hate him.
I hate him!
And I just want to, like, shake her. Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? I don't know why the Macho Man is doing this, but... I'm gonna straighten you out. You gotta get over him. Okay, now I want nothing more than the Macho Man as a like a therapist.
I would love that. No, it's like an Ask Me column. You like he's like an Ask Macho Man.
Yeah, the Macho Man here. We're gonna go over all your relationship problems. If he hasn't popped the question, ladies, you gotta leave him. Yeah, that's
perfect.
That's a
I want
sketch.
that.
We can do that.
I'd call in.
Yeah, that's some merch. I think we can get that going. That's a sideshow where I just play the Macho Man and take your calls.
I love that.
This is the Macho
Give advice.
Man.
What would it be called? Because it would have to be like Macho Man's advice or like
Macho Man's. It's like the Macho Man's perspective.
Yeah, like the sit down with Macho Man. I'm trying to think of like something silly.
Yeah, I'm like man something. Macho mansplaining?
Oh my god! I would hope that he's a little bit nicer than that.
Okay, so anyway.
Macho man to man. Macho man
Oh,
to
there
man.
it is! There it is.
I got it.
Copyright it. Copyright it. Triple H, if you're listening, please let us have that one. here to give you all of it. The best is that he had a terribly toxic relationship in real life. So
I guess he would understand it then. Let me tell you
all
something.
the advice.
Oh my god.
So, anyway, we learned that Kate Winslet's name is Iris. I do like the friend or the coworker has a line where she says, "You're supposed to yell at him, not do his laundry." And she goes, "I don't do his laundry," or whatever she says. And her boss walks by and is like, "Did you file your story?" And she's like, "Oh no," has to go back and finish her work outside the party. Which I guess, I don't know. I guess you're just supposed to think like she's just this woman's a wreck. This woman is just a wreck.
It seems that way, but it also seems like she's probably one of the best ones they have. So maybe she was just given extra work.
Well, that could be. I feel
because he picks her out of the crowd to say, "I need you to write this story."
I think she just didn't finish whatever column she was writing.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I don't know. Is this one of those papers that is considered good in London, or is this more like one of the questionable one? I just don't know.
Like a small one or like a large one?
I'm thinking
I don't know.
No, like a tabloid.
Oh,
I don't think it is.
So you're
I
thinking
think,
like...
No, I think this
okay.
is one of the reputable ones.
I think it's reputable.
Okay.
I see nothing tabloidy about this. Like,
yeah, you're right. She's got an encyclopedia next to her. She's all right.
Yeah. She's doing politics. She's running politics columns and stuff like that.
No,
she probably does. I actually think she does more of like the niceties that are happening in town and in the city and all of those things.
Because I think she's doing a wedding announcement and stuff.
Yes. So what that narration at the beginning
is part of the article.
Could be in the article.
Except for the unrequited love thing. I don't think she's
I
gonna
think
go
that part she didn't print. I think she was just talking more about like the good love, not the crappy loves.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, God, your article took a turn.
He comes in and he starts saying that he got her something for Christmas. So she pulls out the gift. And then he's
So you walk in and you go, "I have a present for you," and she's like, "Oh yeah, so do I." And it's like, "Here's your present," and then he goes, "I don't have it with me. Like, are you nuts? It's a freaking Christmas party. Why wouldn't you?"
Do you think it was just the notes that he needed, the pages?
You're right.
Okay.
Oh, it wasn't an actual gift.
No.
God, what a dick.
I think he was just saying it like a phrase, and then she literally had something for him.
No, I think you're right.
Because I thought he was like being a real scumbag for a second, and then I was like, oh no, later on I was like, oh, he was going to give her the pages.
Yeah.
And then didn't get a chance to. That's why he has to FedEx them to her.
Right.
So I don't quite understand their relationship. I can't tell if they're friends. I can't tell if they talk a lot. I can't tell.
They do.
Okay.
We find out that they do. We know that they do, because remember, she says to the coworker, she goes, "Well, you know, he cheated on me, but we still talk, and we still go to lunch.
Yeah, you're right.
I still, like, edit his stuff, and it's like...
Yeah.
So he's manipulating her. He's keeping her on, like, a line, a leash, or whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
He's keeping her on a tether, and at arm's length.
Yes.
And keeps going, "Hey," and then goes, "No." Like, it's
he
literally
says,
just
"Hey,"
that.
with at least 2 eyes.
You know what I mean by that.
Yeah.
It's the I want something from you, so I'm gonna flirt with you now.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah, this man is gross and she's pathetic.
I don't like it when it comes from either direction. When a woman does it to a man, or a man does it to a woman, or somebody does it to somebody, I don't like it.
We've
like,
discussed
a
that
person
too.
doing it to a person is just, it's disrespectful. It's rude.
You're being very rude. Yes, I am going to do British accents throughout this movie, and they're going to get more and more ridiculous as I go.
And just worse and worse.
And, yep.
It's the same with Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, this dude is a scumbag. Like, get over it.
So Jasper the scumbag.
Kate Winslet, just get over it. She got him a
But
book.
see, the thing, I guess the thing is she's trying, but at the same time, he keeps reeling her back in.
Fucks around with her, yeah. So she got him some first edition of something, so there is that. And this is where we find out that he's writing a book, all that stuff.
Right.
So the owner or the editor or someone, whoever this guy is, says
Yeah, probably the editor. I would say like the head editor. What is
Yeah, the head
Yeah,
editor.
the editor of this paper.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, this guy, I gotta talk about this guy for a second. He's dressed like the snowman in Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Yes.
I popped Rachel on that one.
Because I can see it, and because the pants kind of poof out a little bit at the hips,
Yeah,
it kind of
these-
gives them that like illusion of having
Yes.
the snowman bottom.
Yes.
Put a top hat on.
I don't know.
Good to go.
Folks at home, if you can take a snapshot of this and put a little top hat on this man, I'll post it. Rachel will post it to something.
Oh, I will. I'll put it on our Instagram or our website.
Yeah. We're trying to get off Twitter, so we're not gonna...
Twitter exists.
I hope that there's
but...
by the time this drops, I hope there's some sort of replacement for Twitter. Hate Twitter. Hate social media. I'm not on social media. Yeah,
we have a Twitter. Follow us.
Shelf Life does.
You might get a quirky comment or two.
Maybe.
Probably about it.
Maybe.
We'll let you know when stuff comes out. That's about it.
Yeah, that's all. We'll announce when stuff is coming. He has a tip for Iris, because Iris gets called out, and the
Yes.
tip is for a wedding that's been privately announced, and it's between Jasper and Sarah, who is just this girl that apparently Jasper's been shtipping.
Well, this is I think it's the other woman,
Yeah.
because she also works at the paper.
Yes. And Kate Winslet is gonna cry. She looks devastated by this, of course. And he looks right at her, and she tries to stiff up a lip. But she looks very upset about this all.
Yeah, the English. Nope, we cry about it later.
Yes, we'll go home and we'll cry about it when we can.
Yes.
There, boy. There, old boy. It's fine. So she heads home in the snow to her cozy cottage, and it takes her forever to get home. She has to, like, walk in the snow to get all the way
Right.
home. She goes in. It seems like a very lovely little cottage.
Cute cottage. It's very cute.
And as we were discussing earlier, I cannot...
Oh, and she just starts sobbing, by the way.
Yes, she just starts sobbing. She walks in, she just starts sobbing. I think it looks like it's out of a storybook. Now, as I mentioned earlier, they built this thing from scratch.
I mean, it
And-
looks like a lot of English cottages, though. If you look at just, like, English cottages in general, most of them have this same type of, like, facade.
It just is... It's insane to me that she owns this cottage.
I don't know why to you.
Because I feel like it would just be unbearably expensive.
I think you're just thinking that in, like, the Americanized, like, thought process, though. I feel like this is very just kind of, like, either you have a flat in the city or you have, like, a cottage in the country.
I mean, it looks very nice, so...
At least that's kind of how I see it. Now, I could be totally wrong. You guys can go ahead and correct me. I don't care. But that's kind of what it feels like. And I don't know. I mean, it could be outrageously expensive, but... But, I mean, it's just so... I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
Doesn't true. So we move to LA, and this dude is sleeping on the couch in this massive house. An LA
Yeah.
mansion. Just massive.
Yeah.
And he's looking around for someone named Amanda. So we get Cameron Diaz. Cameron Diaz is playing Amanda. And she throws a shoe at his... Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
Honestly. On the list?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably wasn't on the list. You might have to add that one.
Yeah, I think I actually do.
Yeah. So, they're having an argument where he is saying that he didn't sleep with her. Like, that's the argument here. And it turns
Right.
out that... So that makes 2 cheers we have in this movie so far, folks.
Yes.
And the count goes up. I'm gonna say this. This seems to be a trope in this movie. He can't admit that he didn't do it, and it was the receptionist. How fucking cliche is this? So
yeah,
he's sleeping around
he's
with
definitely a cliche.
Rachel, I want your perspective on this, because I was thinking of this too. I don't know if that's a theme that the writing and everything is trying to say, that the movie's trying to say with the cheaters in this movie, or is it just lazy writing? Because...
What do you mean by, like, the like a theme.
Something about I don't know, just infidelity in general. Is there some sort of lesson to be had, or I don't know, some sort of theme about relationships?
I mean, honestly, I think it's just to parallel the two women's lives, kind of.
But there's more cheaters in this than just the people cheating on the two women.
It's yeah. So then it's paralleling three of them, I guess. And I think they do that on purpose. But
yeah,
I don't know if it has, like, a full meaning behind it. I think it's more so just to connect the characters by a event in their life.
Okay, I'll give you that, and that makes it a little better just to say it is to, like, parallel them, to make them two, similar women
right
on the other side of the pond.
They understand each other. It's kind of like that kind of thing.
I only ask because I feel, and I'm going to bring this up dozens of times on this show every time we do some romantic comedy type of thing or something like that. I feel like it's such a trope. I feel like it's an easy writer's out to make it that the old boyfriend or girlfriend was a cheater. Because you make it so that it's easy for the audience and for the character to accept the new character. And, the new character is so much better because the old person was a cheater.
Yeah.
Where you can just make it that they just weren't compatible. And I think that's harder to do.
But it's harder to see the list of pros and cons, then, I guess, is what you're saying.
Yes.
So it's harder to see, this person is doing this, so-and-so wouldn't do that. Like, you wouldn't see that as easily.
So I always think that when I see this as, like, of course he's cheating, of course he's a prick. It can't just be that they aren't totally right for each other.
I feel like the Kate Winslet Jasper, I feel like Jasper didn't have to cheat on her. I don't even think they should have been in, like, a relationship, which I still think they weren't really, and I don't think he even thought of himself as cheating on her.
Sure.
So you don't even, that one could be she thinks it in her head, but he doesn't think he cheated on her because they weren't really in a monogamous relationship. But I don't even think that needed to happen because he's just kind of a manipulative prick anyways. With this one, okay, and we learned this through their fight and everything, which I say zero excuse, but his excuse for cheating on her, which then break up with her if this is your excuse. It just hasn't been working for the last year.
Yeah, a year.
She works all the time. She shows no emotion. All of these types of things.
Yes.
And it's like, then dump her.
Yes.
And go out with the other one.
Yes.
There is no reason to cheat.
Right. Rachel's rant.
Yep, my little rant right there. Either communicate or get out of the relationship.
Yeah.
But that's kind of this whole thing. That's what this whole fight is about. They have no communication. Yeah. He feels unloved because she has no emotions. And she works too much, but he also works too much, and it's this whole thing. And now, but I mean, that's spiraled out of control for this whole entire year. So you can see, like, everything that happened in that one. But that's kind of what's going on here, is the one didn't really think he cheated on her, and this one definitely cheated on her.
Okay, yeah, I think that summarizes a lot of this discussion too, of the back and forth that they have, and his. I don't understand.
He doesn't admit to it until
he admits
the
to it
end of
eventually.
the fight.
Yes. I don't understand how he thinks he can justify it or say that it's not all his. Like, you cheated.
Oh, a cheater always blames the other
talking
person.
About?
Yeah, I think that's a very psychological thing, that the cheater usually blames the other person because they don't want to feel guilt.
Yeah. So I wrote a couple of notes here. So one thing, he's a composer too. Because she calls him Maestro, and then she like hands him, like, you can tell there's, like, score written. Mm-hmm. So he's a composer as well. She cuts trailers, we find out, because he says something about, like, you spend all your time cutting trailers. Rachel and I can relate. So she's an editor, or I guess what we find out later is that she owns a trailer company, that makes trailers.
Right. She, like, markets the movies. And that's kind of how she calls her job, is like marketing movies.
Yes. Yeah. all I could think of at this point, I just put, man, these rich people problems, fuck me.
Yep.
Because
yeah.
part of it is, as they're having this argument, there's a gardener or something, and all I can think of is the gardener being like, these fucking rich people. Like, who... You live in this mansion in Los Angeles, and you're like, oh God, my life.
Having a spat.
It's like, fuck you, Cameron Diaz, and you. I don't know what your name is, but you're a prick.
I don't know what his name is.
Ethan, I think maybe.
Probably. I don't know. He never comes back. But he's like embarrassed by this too, and it's just like, and she's like, I don't care. You're an asshole. Get out of my house.
Yeah. We find out that she can't cry. That's her problem.
Yeah. I hate it. I hate it. It bothers me the entire movie.
That she can't cry, or that's her. That's
like her
gimmick.
thing.
Yeah.
It's her gimmick. It just bothers me.
Do you have like a reason? It's just
no. It just annoys me.
You didn't buy
she seems so over dramatic. Like, she's just that rich person, over dramatic type of person. So like I can't cry. I'm gonna keep sitting here going and trying to cry. Like, it just annoyed me.
I think part of that was because Cameron Diaz. I think Cameron Diaz is.
Cameron Diaz. I think it's definitely her.
I think she's a very good comedian. I think she's very funny. So I think they thought, just let Cameron, like, come up with fake crying, because that'll be funny.
Yeah, maybe.
Because, like, you can tell she's, like, trying to, like, be really goofy with it.
Yes.
So I think that might be part of it. But
probably. It was just like oh my God. It just, like, every time I was just like, oh, she's doing it again. Like.
Also, she gets her esophagus starts to spasm.
Well, I think that's like an acid reflux, because she doesn't like show her emotions. She keeps it all bottled up. I think she has like an acid reflux type of thing.
I feel like this is Nancy Meyers putting some of her own stuff into this character.
Probably.
Do you think like if
maybe.
you go look at a couple of interviews with Nancy Meyers, and I was like, I think this is a little bit of her character coming through.
I could see that.
I could Amanda. See that.
But yeah, then she finally gets him to admit to it.
I guess I should have said fuck you Amanda, not fuck you Cameron Diaz. Either way, it's fine.
Did you say fuck you Cameron Diaz? Must have missed it.
A couple of good lines here. A good line here. She has the spasm and is like freaking out, and she goes like, I'll be fine. And he goes, I know, I'm thinking about me. which I think is indicative of their entire relationship.
Exactly.
He finally admits it. She comes out to argue with him some more, and this guy is just a prick, too. So she punches... I actually call this guy a douche.
He's probably more of a douche.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
She punches him a couple times.
And look, I don't condone physical violence.
Domestic abuse.
From either person. However, it does feel good to have her punch him in the movie. It does feel good.
Yeah, movie violence is okay, because it's fake.
Right. In real life, no.
Right.
You can feel it, punch the pillow, don't punch the other person.
Go watch Cameron Diaz punch this guy in the face. You'll be fine.
It's very satisfying.
So then we go back in, and Catherine Hahn is just here for some reason. And she's pregnant?
Well, I think, yeah.
So my guess is she's just friends with Nancy Meyers, or Nancy Meyers just likes Catherine Hahn, so she just pulled her.
Oh, is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Jim Halpert is also here.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're here because she lives in this giant mansion. So she has
probably has, yeah. She probably has a studio in the house.
Yeah, there's a studio here that her people work at, because I don't really know if we ever figure out what Catherine Hahn's job is, but John Krasinski's editing this thing.
Assistant. Yeah. She might have a bunch of people doing editing, and she's just like, hey, can you go grab her? I'm just going to finish this up while you go get her.
So we cut to a fake trailer starring Lindsay Lohan and James Franco.
Yeah.
I wish...
Which is like, what? I kind of wish they were in this.
I wanted this to be goofier. I wanted this to be a goofier trailer. Like, if you want to play up a little bit of, like, the meta-ness of the movie and of Hollywood, make this trailer a bit goofier.
Well, okay, look, it's not going to be,
It's not gonna be Tropic,
Tropic
Thunder. Yeah, I know.
but it does feel like it wants to be a little bit, like, at parts, it has that, I want to be Tropic Thunder. But Tropic Thunder just goes balls to the walls, this is what it is, right?
Yes.
Like, literally. This is, like, we want it to be goofy, but it just doesn't,
It just feels like a regular trailer.
yes, it just doesn't go hard enough.
Yeah, I want it to go a little harder. I want James Franco to say some terrible action one-liner at the end of the trailer.
Yes.
Or Lindsay Lohan to be like, you again, and then, like, you know, there's a record scratch. Like, make it... I guess the problem with doing that would be that it would make it would make Amanda look like she's not great at her job, which she has to be perfect in every way. So she can't not be... like, you can't be goofy, but... I don't know, if you're gonna call yourself a romantic comedy, like, where's the fucking comedy? So, to me, it should have been goofy.
I mean, I think they thought, like, you have two guns? Yeah, because I didn't think one was going to be enough, or whatever the hell he says. I think that was supposed to be the funny line, like, that you were asking for.
Okay. Folks at home...
But, again, it just doesn't...
Folks at home that might be more in the demographic of
land.
this movie, is that funny?
It just doesn't land. I guess it's I wonder if it's supposed to be like the people who don't want to watch action movies, and then like, hey, there's a look of this action movie inside of the romance. I don't know. Maybe is it one of, like, does she write books? Maybe it's an actual, like, another one of her writings or something. It's like another one of her things that she was going to write. It's hard to say.
So Amanda gives some advice on cutting the trailer. She's the head of the trailer companies where we find this out. She wants to take a few weeks to get out of town. And the people, John Krasinski and Catherine Hahn, look at her like she's crazy because she never says she wants to get out of town.
Yeah, she probably never takes a break. She's probably the I'm in on Sunday working
Which,
type of
like,
person.
All right. I mean, I guess you're very successful, but if you never take a break and you never enjoy your life because all you're doing is being successful, are you really, like what are you gaining? If you're
I guess if she likes what
constantly
she's
doing this?
doing.
I guess so, yeah. I guess so.
She enjoys her job, then that's like her thing. That's her life.
She wants to eat carbs and read a book. She reads reviews and magazines, but she never reads books. This monologue, did you say you love eating carbs and reading books?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
You know why? You know why, Rachel? Because that's life. And you're enjoying
it's wonderful.
it. Yeah.
I am. That is correct. You could not ever take bread and pasta away from me.
Yeah, I
just laughing at me.
Because now I like picture the "Don't tread on me" flag, but it's a plate of spaghetti and it just says bread and pasta. Folks at home, make that into a t-shirt. I think we could sell that one. This monologue is fucking insane about her looking haggard and how she has to keep looking haggard, but men don't.
No. She doesn't keep looking haggard. No. So the whole thing is...
Okay, Rachel's gonna woman-splain this to me.
let me explain.
Okay.
So this is
I need to be taught. I need to learn these things. I'm single.
Well, I think this is also like a celebrity like worry and also a bit of a meta talk about this type of stuff too.
Sure. Okay.
Right? Where, these things cause a woman to look haggard. This thing causes a woman to look older. But a man's never going to get that because they always look young and they can always get their hot young girlfriend, right? That's what she's saying. And I think it is it's kind of a meta thing where a woman always has to look young. So she is looking at those weird like faux science type of things saying like you need these things so you don't look haggard, and when you hit like a certain age in Hollywood, now you're the mom instead of the hot one. That's like, I feel like that's
see previous episode 16mm Shrine in the Twilight.
Yes, but I think that's kind of like what they're also saying here, yeah, because he goes for the hot young receptionist.
Oh, that's true. Okay. I understand.
And so she's paralleling this, and yeah,
because I was like, not nearly to the extent that women get that, but men are starting to, the height you have to be a certain height and weight.
Right, of course.
And there are products out there for aging men with hims and all of the erectile dysfunction. Like, there's a ton of that kind of crap, too.
Right.
I guess there isn't as much pressure, though, too.
I think there is a lot of pressure on men, but I think that it's a lot more apparent
Or
and
internal.
like out
I think it's a lot
there
more
and, like,
internal for
yes, men is a little bit more internal than how women, it's like in their face.
Yes.
Constantly.
Yeah. A man might feel insecure, but a woman feels like everyone's looking at her and expecting the best and all this stuff. Yeah. Okay.
I think that's kind of what this is going for.
Yeah. It still comes off as pretty insane.
Because I think it's
genuinely-
that faux science kind of crap too.
I did genuinely like when she says all that stuff about women and men don't have to do anything, and John Krasinski just goes, "I'm sorry." Really
I
quickly.
loved that.
I liked
that. For men, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I liked that little touch that he put on.
No, that was perfect.
An insane line that she says here too about how it's more likely that a woman over 35 is going to be in a terrorist attack.
Yeah, okay, that part was crazy.
I know that it's 2006. I know we're close to, we're in the middle of the Iraq War here, but that sounded
I don't know why
insane.
terrorism had to be added to this. It was a little weird. You're right. That part was insane. I was kind of hitting on the Haggard part.
Sure.
But, like, the stress because of terrorism was a little weird.
Yeah. I mean, she's having a mental breakdown.
Yeah,
mental
she
breakdowns.
is.
That's the theme of Volume 3 here. So, I put that old Google looks a little bit odd looking at it today. And I'm sure looking at it in the future, it looks even odder. But it looks a little weird when she pulls up Google. So, she ends up trying to find a place to go for the holidays because she doesn't want to sit here. She wants to, like, get away and find herself. This is one of the scenes where she tries to pretend to cry,
Yes.
as you pointed out. You see what I mean, though? Like, she's
She's
doing
it.
Cameron Diaz kooky.
It's the if I try to cry, maybe I'll cry, and then she just kind of gives up. But it's just it happens a lot, and I think that's why it annoys me because it's just like I will say I am the I will cry at everything kind of a person. I'm a very emotional. I get into things very easily, so like I will cry at movies and books and all of that.
Yeah,
I don't know. So maybe I just can't relate. So I'm just like, ugh, of course.
I cry about as much as Jason Mantzoukas when it comes to these.
I mean, when Captain America finally said, "Avengers assemble," and the music swelled and all of the heroes came in, I know there wasn't a dry eye in the house.
I'm trying to think of what the last thing I got like teared up at was. I can't think. So anyway, she ends up using a website to exchange a home, which apparently is a real thing.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
So
I don't know if they do it as much. Well, they probably still do it.
Well, I feel like this
but-
is like a precursor to Airbnb.
Yeah, I could see that.
Except for instead of just like you're renting out your house, you literally exchange houses with somebody.
Right.
So it's like it's house swap.
Yes.
Apparently, Iris put this on the site, which is interesting.
Well, because she has like a really cute home, and she probably makes extra money off of it and stuff.
Oh, so you think this is not the first time that Iris has done?
No, I think it is the first time she's done it, but I'm just
she
saying
put
I
it
think
on
that's what
there.
she's thinking, because she's like,
Okay.
well, I have a really nice house, and like maybe I could make some extra money on the side.
Gotcha. Okay. We go back to the cottage, and Iris is depressed. She's crying.
She's disheveled.
She feeds the dog at least.
Cute dog.
Does she yes, it is a cute dog. It's a very great dog. Contemplates suicide here, I think.
I couldn't believe. Okay,
She
the
does,
subtleness
right?
of
Okay.
that. Like let's make a subtle joke about suicide, shall we? Like that's what it felt like. I was like, no. You like, ooh.
Yeah, because
That was weird.
She opens up the window to like get some fresh air. Yeah, it
Because
was
of the
very,
gas.
It was kind of weird. I don't
It
think
was it was dark, but like for 10 seconds, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
What just happened?
Yes. So she gets this message from Amanda. She wants to know if the cottage is available for Christmas. She could be a real lifesaver for Amanda. Iris could. And she sees it, and she says, well, it's really only available for an exchange. And they discuss what the exchange is. So we get a meet cute between the two of them. This conversation goes back and forth in Instant Messenger, which I'm assuming was kind of revolutionary at the time, to have an entire conversation between your two main characters take place in Instant Messenger. Maybe?
Oh, yeah, I could see that. Wait, when did that come out?
Instant Messenger? Oh, like the 90s.
You've Got Mail.
Oh, You've Got Mail.
Was what I was thinking of.
Okay, yeah, you're right. And that came out
I was thinking of You Got Mail, and that came out in 1998.
Okay. So this is way past that then. Okay.
I think it is different, but I also think it's kind of like just like a useful thing now.
Yep.
Especially since one is in LA and the other one's in England, Surrey. It's just that's a big gap. It's probably like 3 a.m. for her. It's probably like midnight or like.
It's like I think it's like a 7 or 8 hours difference. I think. So, it's definitely late, but I think she just got home from work. I think we just picked up right back.
Oh, you think that's where it? Oh,
yeah, because she's feeding the dog dinner. So.
Oh, I guess you're right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So Amanda asks Iris if there are any men in her town, and she responds with 0. And Amanda says, "When can I come?" They say tomorrow. Lol, 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 lol.
Where are you? Please say somewhere far away. LA? Never been there. Always wanted to go. I'm Iris, by the way. I'm very normal. Neat freak, healthy, non-smoker. Single. Hate my horrible life. I'm Amanda. Loner, loser, and complicated wreck. Hi.
Right, and everything fell into place.
Everything fell into place. These rich white women can just cross over from England to LA. And back and forth.
I still don't think Kate Winslet's character is ungodly rich. Like, because when she's like, oh my god, whenever she sees any of the rich stuff. So
true. She's not as rich as Amanda or Graham, but yeah, that's fair. She's just a journalist, I guess.
She's a journalist who lives in a cute little English cottage.
I just think it's strange that they're able to just pick up and go across the globe like that.
I think, why not?
I think the tickets would be expensive. You need a passport, all of the...
Well, she probably has a passport. I wouldn't doubt that she has a passport.
That's true.
If she's a journalist and she has to go to a different country, like right next door, that she has to write about something, then... I'm just saying, that doesn't surprise me. But yeah, I guess you're right, about she at least has money to go on a vacation into another country that's very far away.
Iris gets on the plane and flirts with a handsome man. He's got a hot girl with him, though, so that's out of the picture. And then
I don't know if she just, I feel like they want her to be that really awkward girl that just flirts with anybody who's cute, but then it doesn't come across that way later. So it's this felt a little weird. Did she think she was having a meet cute with this guy?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, good, this is my rebound.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. And I was like, all right, calm down. You're on an airplane.
Yes. Yeah, what are you gonna... Well, it's a long flight, so...
Yeah, I guess they could chat, but still, it just seemed kind of she's like, replacement,
man.
instant.
Yes.
I was like, all right. That's...
Instead, she ends up sitting next to these two Mrs. Doubtfire ladies.
I don't know, they seemed nice.
They're Mrs. Doubtfire ladies. And... Okay, so here's the thing. This always bothers me. This bothers me in real life. This bothers me in movies. If there are 2 of you, and there's a third person, and you're in a 3-person seating arrangement, switch your fucking seats.
Well, you'd have to talk to the flight attendants to see if you can. Because a lot of the times the ticket is set to that chair, and you're not allowed to do that.
I think you could. I think the flight attendants would allow it.
I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Flight attendants I know flight attendants are, okay, folks at home, if you're on
They
a
also
plane,
probably thought they were gonna get lucky and not have that third seat get filled.
True. Yeah, those Mrs. Doubtfires are pissed because they were like, the seats aren't filled. We're in the airport in 5 hours. So then Iris bought a plane ticket.
Right.
So folks at home, if you're on a plane right now, tell the stewards that you're listening to, or flight attendants, tell the flight attendants that you're listening to flight attendants if you're listening to Shelf Life right now, tell them you're listening to Shelf Life and say, they're discussing if you can switch seats. Can you switch seats? And get back to us, let us know.
Yeah, how easy is that? Is that okay?
She looks at her 2006 phone, and Prick Jasper has left her an email saying, wow, it's her first vacation in 4 years. He wants to know how to reach her.
Yeah, like, what the hell is that? She's on vacation.
Yeah. Like,
Buzz off.
Just ignore it, you nutbag. Like, what are you doing?
You have a fiancé. Get out of here.
And then she actually types this all out about, like, needing to get over loving him. And I was like, oh, for the love of God, please tell me she doesn't send this. And then she fucking does. Good Lord.
That was cringy.
This woman is pathetic. She's pathetic.
She is pathetic. Well, she calls herself pathetic. She is pathetic.
Meanwhile, while Iris is doing this, because she's the sad...
Because she's in economy, mind you.
Yes. We got Miss 1% over here with this stack of books next to her laying down in a plane.
Yeah, she's either in business class or she's in first class.
Oh, this has to be first class. Look at this. This is insane. The president doesn't have this good of a setup.
The president has his own plane.
There's a fake trailer in her head with one of the trailer voices. It's like
comes
the real guy.
Nowhere. It comes out of nowhere.
Yes, it comes out of nowhere. It happens a few times, and I actually think it should happen one more time than it does.
Agreed.
It doesn't happen at the end when it should be wrapping up her, like...
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad that we're on the same page. Because it does it like 3 times, but it doesn't do it to wrap everything to... It should happen when they're all dancing at New Year's.
It either should be Kate Winslet narrator in her own head, or
the fake trailer.
Or the fake trailer voice.
Yes.
Wrapping it up for both of them. Like, and this is the end of the movie. Like,
yes.
Like... We finally have, like, the love we need. Like,
yes.
Some crap like that.
Hal Douglas is the trailer voice. He is a real trailer voice. And he did actual trailer stuff for a lot of his life. He died in 2014. Oh. He was 90. So, yes, he did thousands of voiceover movie trailers over 6 decades.
I mean, honestly, if you have that voice, you have to do trailers.
Yeah.
I love that voice. It's so good. In a world.
Yes. He is one of the guys that you'll hear say in a world. And then he did other voiceover narration and documentaries and stuff like that. So, very famous man.
But it goes through her life. I mean, it's just pretty much saying that she has a flawed love life. And it's like just pointing it out to herself type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Because she's feeling sorry for herself.
She has anxiety.
Yes. She's very perfectionist and yeah.
Yeah. A lot of pent up emotions.
We start in LA with Iris. Walking in a Winter Wonderland is playing. We get some of Amanda arriving in a quaint little town. Mm-hmm. The White Horse pub. I wondered if that was some sort of symbolism, because isn't there like some sort of symbolism with a white horse, or is that just Rob Zombie's Halloween too?
A white horse, white knight type of thing, maybe? Like the knight in shining armor coming to save you? I don't know.
A white horse have a special significance in the mythologies of cultures around the world. They're often associated with the sun chariot. That's just a Rob Zombie thing. Great. Okay. So anyway.
Yeah, I think it's just a pub there. I think it's a real place.
Probably.
But they end up going to the White Horse, I think. So
yes. So Cameron Diaz fell asleep in the back of this car that's taking her to the place. It's a decent little joke because Cameron Diaz is funny. She makes it work. And she looks out and there's a cemetery and she's like, oh, great.
Like, did she think she got scammed?
Oh, I didn't think
because I would have thought I got scammed.
Okay. Yeah, because if he gave the address and he's like, here it is. Okay, yeah.
That's what I would have thought, but oh geez.
I didn't pick up on that, but that makes sense to me. That's better than the joke that's better than the thought I had, which is, what does she like? Oh, now I'm staring at my death from this.
Like, love is death.
Yeah.
I thought this guy's ignorant though. Because it obviously, because it obviously just goes around the entire little country part, so he could have just driven around, but instead drops her here and she has to walk like a mile and a half to get to the
wondered
house.
that too, because
this guy seemed ignorant.
She drives a car out of it.
Yes!
And he comes and picks her up at the cottage at the end of the movie. So why couldn't he drive her
And
there?
you can see the road must, like, go around, right? And he's just like, well, I can't back up. And it's just like, you're just lazy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, making her get out, and she's gonna have to walk.
It's done purposefully to make it look like, this is really out in the middle of nowhere, and this character is not used to having to do this type of activity, to walk in the snow, but it doesn't make a lot of sense when you stop to think about it. And since she's a giant pain in the ass, she has way too much luggage. I mean, it's 2 weeks worth of luggage. She slips a bunch on the ice. She has to walk through the woods.
Yeah, she's in heels.
Yeah. Who does a plane ride with heels on? I'll tell you who. A rich Hollywood person. That's who.
I mean, if you remember earlier, what is Iris is like wearing comfy, very just like I'm in my winter clothes. Like, she doesn't look like all fancy. In this one, she's like, I'm wearing my coat, and I'm wearing my turtleneck and my heels, and like she looks very done up. So that's like the two differences with these women as well.
Okay, now we get some house porn. That's all this is. House porn. It's house porn on both sides. It's
adorable, and I love it.
Because we get house porn with Kate Winslet looking at this giant house. There's a theater, there's a gym, there's a pool. Mm-hmm. And then, fuck these people. They're giant Hollywood mansions. Amanda needs to get used to this quiet life because she's in like this little cottage, but she doesn't know what to do.
She doesn't know how to turn off. That's her problem.
Another question for the folks at home and for you, Rachel, is this like a thing that different, like outside of my demographic, like that people that would, is house porn a thing?
Well, I like architecture and interior design stuff, so for me, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean,
I liked getting to see like the whole house. You kind of get the personality of the person as well when you see the house. And,
I mean,
like,
I'll look on Pinterest to figure out how to make something look nice or whatever. But
I do think it is a thing. People do like to just browse Zillow and all of like those types of sites as well. People do like to just look at those types of things too.
Because I just thought, like, in a movie, I was like, who is this for that we're just going around looking at the rooms in these houses?
Because, see, I think this is the problem. This is the problem you're having. You're saying they're both rich and big deal, and they are just, like, 1%ers, yada, yada. They're not. They're two different people. The one is a very rich woman who, like, owns her own company, and the other one is kind of, like, middle class, just works in an office type of person. So she's going to a home that's a giant mansion. I would also be running around this house like wanting to see everything and looking at everything and just like taking it all in. And going...
I'm not saying it about Kate Winslet being excited to be in this house. I'm saying it more of it just being like, look at how rich and fancy these people are. They're such great people because they have this big, rich and fancy
I don't
house.
think they're trying to say she's such a great person because she's rich and fancy. I don't get that. I just see like, holy crap, she's rich, and look how crazy this is that she has all this stuff. And you're kind of getting like more of her personality because she doesn't really know this person either.
Right.
And then then you flip it, and Cameron Diaz is looking at this house, and it's adorable, and it's like just like.
But she's not used to living in a
really
very small little house.
Comfy. But I think she finds it very like just like cozy. I get to be somebody different. I get to feel it.
Yeah.
Out of body
Yeah.
Holiday.
Out of Body Holiday. That's the sequel. Out of Body Holiday. So
maybe I guess I'm seeing it differently. I'm seeing it
that's
as,
why that's the
just
point.
running around and getting to like take it all in, and you're seeing it more of the let me just
Trying
show
to
off
impress
this home,
the
to
audience,
be
yeah.
impressive. Yeah.
Which is fine. It's two different thoughts on it. You got more out of it, for sure. So not only do you have to take care of this dog, which I wouldn't trust my dog to a stranger.
Absolutely not. I would have given that to my brother immediately.
Yeah. Why can't the dog stay at the brother's house?
I guess maybe she said, well, I have a dog. Do you mind taking care of him?
But you have
And
to
she was like,
trust
"Yeah,
this
that's
person
fine."
to show up
I know.
and do it.
I know. I wouldn't, but...
Not only that, you're also letting this person use your car, which is crazy.
Well, you're letting them touch everything in your house. They're sleeping in your bed. They're sleeping in your bed.
Yeah, not only that, you're letting your brother is okay. We'll get into that. Okay, so she goes into town because she's trying to find something to do. She doesn't know how to drive on the left side of the street, so we get some comedy of Cameron Diaz not knowing how to drive on the left side of the street, which I'm assuming would be kind of difficult to do that the first time.
Plus, it's like skinny roads, and it's probably icy and all of those things too that you have to deal with.
She goes into a shop. She's drinking the wine as she buys stuff to splurge on. And the checkout person says, oh, someone's having a party tonight. And she goes, oh, yeah. And
Party for one.
We go back and she's just laying in bed watching TV.
Yep.
She sees her TV trailer and she gets excited because they're actually like playing the TV trailer.
Right. I wanted to see the end that she changed, but then they didn't show it. Because she's just like, I was like, oh yeah, she like...
Oh yeah,
shot
she
kind
said
of,
to
like,
do something
minor
differently.
details.
Yeah, I can't
So I
remember
thought they were
what
going
that
to show the minor detail, and they didn't. But I was
Yeah.
like, whatever, it's... Small things.
She puts on the Killers, starts a fire, and she starts rocking out in this cottage. Who hasn't done this? Looked like a blast.
Well, yeah, because she's having trouble, like, turning off and, like, reading the book and, like, just relaxing. She can't. She doesn't know how.
I thought it was relatable, though, to just kind of, you know, you're trying to just have a night to yourself. I mean, Rachel, you don't live by yourself, but as someone that does, yeah, I'll blast music and sing to myself and why not?
Yeah, I'll do that.
I did write cute dog here. She has a staring contest with this dog.
Yes.
And I think the dog wants her to like play or something, but she just kind of
That and
him.
he's probably like, "Who the hell are you? Why are you in my house?"
Yes. I tried to find who the dog actor was here. I couldn't find it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would have loved a name.
Iris is swimming. She's looking through the massive DVD collection. It looks like the Shelf Life Studios. That's what the Shelf Life Studios looks like, with our shelves, with everything that's on the racks above the TV.
It's great.
Someone is at the front gate, and it turns out that it's Jack Black. I wrote it's Lewis Black in my notes.
Different person.
How great would this movie be if it was Lewis Black playing Miles instead?
I don't know.
What the fuck do you mean you came here all the way from England? Who would do such a thing? This town's a wreck. Yeah. So,
Oh my god.
it's Jack Black and his girlfriend. We learn that his name is Miles. She gets them through the gate, and Miles works with Ethan, who is the guy that Amanda just broke up with. So he's there to pick up some stuff, pick up like his laptop or something that he must have left there. So it makes sense. Like he sent someone that he works with to get some things.
That I assume Amanda's probably also worked with.
Yeah, probably. I'm assuming that Amanda knows who Miles is. I think it's interesting that Miles is so like laid back when he could have been coming into like a pretty contentious situation. You know what I mean? Like you think that you're meeting Amanda to pick this stuff up.
Yes, and then there's just this random woman.
Yes, but instead he's like, yeah. You know, she's being Jack Black. It's Jack Black.
It's Jack Black playing Jack Black. So
the wind is insane. It's ridiculously windy. So this is, I guess, just some typical like Pacific wind that they get
probably
in Los Angeles on a seasonal basis here. This is our meet cute between Miles and Iris. Mm-hmm. And this is when Jack Black says that with this kind of wind, anything can happen.
Right.
So that's your That's your Christmas magic. If this was a Hallmark movie, we would have cut to a...
Like I have a little bells like jingling.
Oh, see, I think that one of the gardeners would have been an old man with a beard, and
and he just goes, anything can happen.
Yes, he does a little wink. He waves to Miles. Yes,
right. No, but like Miles gets crud out of her eye. And I felt that was a little awkward.
I think it's like I thought it was like an eyelash or something. Yeah, it's very strange.
She gets something in her eye because of the wind. And he like... No, but I just thought it was like a little weird that he's like, can I get that for you? And it's just like, no. Like, just like some random stranger touching my face. I don't know.
Yeah, but she's awkward. So I guess she she didn't know how to say no. Or I guess she thought she would have been rude.
Polite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she says like, "Oh, you're a composer too," and then she jokes about like, "Oh, is this you?" And it's Enrico Morricone, a very famous, very very famous composer, is I guess doing the diegetic sound. I wasn't sure if it actually was, but whatever. And then you get introduced to Maggie, who is Jack Black's girlfriend. So they head out. They're like, "Oh, we'll come back. I'll come back later. I'll grab it later." And as they leave, she sees an old man being walked by his nurse. The wind blows in the trees, and I remembered I had a feeling of being a teenager in 2006 going, oh yeah, the pacing of this movie is so... Now look, here at Shelf Life, we cannot throw stones at anything being too long. However, if you're making a movie...
We can do that if we want to.
Sure. Certain things need to be paced at a certain rate. And for the most part, we try to keep the pace up even if we're long. This movie is slow as shit!
Yeah, a lot of the parts kind of just drag a little bit. Yeah, they linger too long.
Too much.
Yeah.
You could cut a half an hour out of this thing, I think. Probably.
Maybe, yeah.
She has jet lag, and she uses this purge technology to pull the blinds down at this house so that she can get to sleep in the middle of the afternoon because she's on London time.
Yeah, so she has blackout curtains, which makes sense because that other woman seemed like the Cameron Diaz Amanda seems very like, I'll work any hours and I'll just sleep when I can, so I have to have blackout curtains.
Oh, this wasn't like some sort of purge technology to...
No, it's not like metal gates shutting down the windows.
Amanda struggles because she's on a different schedule too, and there's a knock at the door, and we get introduced to Jude Law. So another mute cute here. Jude Law is drunk, and he's asking to use...
smashed.
Oh, yes. Pissed, I believe is how they would phrase it.
Right.
He asks to use the bathroom. He walked all the way to his sister's house. I got his name wrong at first. I thought he said that his name was Graham, and it's Graham.
It's Graham!
But I thought that, I guess because he's just drunk, so I thought he said Grayan, and I wrote, I'm not calling him Grayan, I'm just going to call him Jude Law.
Yeah, you can call him Graham.
Yeah.
Like Graham Cracker.
Yeah. She lets him in, which... I don't know, I guess. I feel like if you're alone in a new country, in a new house, and Amanda didn't say, hey, by the way, my brother might stop by, you're not answering
I don't think
the
she
door.
thought her brother was just gonna stop by. But, like, he goes, look, I'm her brother. Like, I feel like you want to believe him, and maybe...
You believe him because it's 2006 Jude Law.
That's what I'm thinking. Plus, she's like, well, he's hot, and he's drunk, who cares? Like... That's literally what she's thinking.
Folks at home, don't do this.
No.
I don't care if this is a good
This is how a
meet
serial
cute.
killer gets you.
Yeah, don't do this.
This is a true crime in the making.
Yeah.
It might be cute. It could be a meet cute, but it also might be a serial
Jeffrey
meet
Dahmer
cute.
situation. He comes out of the bathroom. He almost knocks down a lamp because in these movies, clumsiness is always a personality trait for at least one character, if not multiple.
Right.
Then this is where we learn that they switched houses for 2 weeks for the holiday. So there's a title drop there. He asks her if he can sit because he's drunk. And I couldn't tell if he was going to puke or pass out or what, because he's acting all like sick because of how drunk he is. And I guess what we learn is he usually comes by when he gets drunk to have somewhere to sleep it off.
Right.
Which does not exactly make him sound like the most endearing character.
No, he just kind of sounds like he does this often. Like, he says, oh, I don't do this that often, but I think he does it more often than he thinks he does.
He does it more often than he wants to let on, yes.
Admit, yeah.
She says she wants to go back. She isn't herself. She doesn't feel great. I feel like none of this wasn't established enough. Like, we see her being kind of bored, not knowing what to do, but she doesn't feel herself and she wants to go back. Like, I feel like they didn't really establish that enough to make that the next part of her arc.
But I think that is kind of also just her personality again, where it's just like, she doesn't know how to do this. Like, she doesn't know how to relax in like a place like this, and so she's just like, oh, screw it, I'll just go back. I'll just go back and work. And here's my thought, though. Here is my thought on this. Like, I know you're saying they didn't establish it enough.
This is going to be a typical shelf life length.
She's saying, I'm just going to go home. What is she going to do? She's going to make Iris go home? Or is she going to be like, well, you can stay in the guest room for the 2 weeks?
No,
like, I don't care.
I don't think she was even going to go back to her house. I think she was going to go, like...
Oh, like somewhere else?
Yeah.
Like Bahamas or something?
I think she was going to try to go somewhere else, yeah.
Okay.
And let
maybe.
Iris stay
I don't
there.
know. All I kept thinking was, well, she'd probably be like, you can stay. I don't care. You know, like...
Yeah, but I don't think she was actually going to go back to her house. I think the cruel thing would be, I'm coming home, I left your dog there.
Right?
So, I don't think Amanda was thinking this through, but I'm not
Not
sure.
at all, because she even got the ticket. Like, you're an idiot. Like, rude.
She gets some brandy for them to drink. I don't think they actually drink it, but she pours it. And I thought this was odd. Because, and maybe I just don't open conversations with people I don't know this way. I know people do open conversations this way, though. Because he asks her if she's married. And she goes, do I look not married? And he was like, no, not at all. I mean, I'm not. Me neither. It just seemed like an odd... I know it needs to happen for the plot, but it's an odd thing to talk about with someone, kind of?
Not really. No, you're asking if they're single.
Okay.
2 things. He's probably wondering, okay, wait, are you here alone? Is there another person? Right? 2, I find you attractive. Are you single? And he's used to doing this at bars. We saw that with the opening,
sure.
Right? Or seemingly saw that with the opening. I think it's just people attracted to each other, and that's just a normal thing to ask. I know you don't think it's normal, but I think it's normal.
I mean, I have dating apps, so I don't have to know that or not. I mean, I guess you still kind of do. But you
kind
just
of assume most of those people are single.
Yeah. He asks if he can stay, and he says he promises that she'll never lay eyes on him again. And she goes, I'll go get you a blanket. He knows where the blankets are, etc.
So you kind of, or at least, okay, I guess he does know this house.
Well, I mean, we established that he's her
I
son.
know. I'm just joking. Like he could have just said that.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
He could be the crazy ex that's gonna like trash her place and kill her dog. We don't know.
It's true. That's true. So he asks her why is she not quite herself, which is a very personal thing to ask, and she tells him the whole story. So we have to hear the whole story again, and he's glad he knocked on the door. He kisses her on the lips, which is an incredibly inappropriate thing to do.
Oh, very, yeah. I mean, you can say it's probably because he's drunk, too, so it's...
No excuses.
No excuses, but I'm just saying, like...
She asks him to try that again. Now they're just hooking up. I don't think she's drunk, but she says it was weird kissing a total stranger. She just feels weird kissing a total stranger. And he says, I do it all the time. And I don't think he's joking. I think he
I don't think he's joking.
Hooks up randomly all the time.
Yes, I think so too.
Because he's 2006 Jude Law.
And he can.
and he can. And I can. They go in again. I don't know why she's hell-bent on this. Is this a game she's playing? Is she trying to figure something out? But he starts kissing her face, which I thought was very strange. And then they start making out.
Do you mean like the game of like kissing him type of thing?
Yes, like
I think it is because she like a total stranger. She's never done this before.
Right, because she's very
and it's,
uptight.
exhilarating.
Yeah. She's a Bella Swan. She convinces herself to fuck him.
Yep.
Right? That's what happens. And she tells him
like I said, I think she wants a hookup. She wants to get that holiday hookup.
Yeah. Holiday hookup. Holiday hookup. Trademarks shelf life.
Where she doesn't have to see him again, but at least she had something that made her feel something. Maybe she's feeling something. Maybe that's why she has him kiss her over and over again.
Well,
she's feeling something.
She's trying to use him as a rebound.
Yes.
And she says, well, we can have sex if you want. And he's like, is that a trick question? And she's like, it's a serious question. So they do it.
They do it. We don't see it, but they do it.
She says that she's not good at sex. So now...
Also, a weird thing. Also, boyfriend is an absolute douche.
All right,
Because
so
did he just tell her you're bad at sex? Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, it's a very strange thing to say to...
That's not how sex works. Like, you don't just go, you're really bad at sex, and then I'm still gonna screw you? Like, what the hell?
All right, because I think it's it's obviously if you're in a toxic relationship, that might be the way it goes.
Also
I think
true.
it's fine to tell someone to do this is a brother
To do something
sister,
different.
It's a brother
to do something
sister
different.
podcast.
I don't
folks.
like this.
This is a
do
brother
this
and
instead.
sister podcast.
You know what? This works better for me. That's how you work. Communication, people. Relationships, communication. Period.
Okay, I took the headphones off because I didn't know what Rachel was talking about and I didn't want to hear it. So I'm putting them back on.
I didn't say anything inappropriate.
So anyway,
It's a normal thing. Normal.
she says that sex is pretty basic, except no, it isn't. No, it isn't. I mean, it's basic, but doing it well is not. So anyway, she fucks Dumbledore.
Basic.
Let's move
It's
on.
weird.
In the morning, she can't figure out how to get the coffee pot to work. He lost his contacts.
So now he's got the cute glasses.
Oh,
on.
he looks very dapper.
He's studious.
Mm-mm.
He's just the eye candy of the movie.
He kind of is.
He really is.
Because, Cameron Diaz is fine and everything, but, yeah.
I prefer Kate Winslet and Jude Law.
I just find Kate Winslet to have, a very, girl next door look to her.
Yeah.
So, of all of them, Jude Law is the most, model hot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No. You know what? Jack Black. We haven't even
for
talked about...
fucking sure. A man that can move like that?
spice.
Ladies, that's who you should be going for. He can dance, he can sing, he's funny.
Well, that's the thing, though. His personality is very attractive in this. It's very attractive. It's
He
hard
is
not to,
extremely charming in
enjoy
this,
that.
Yes. All
very.
four of them.
It's hard not to, yes, I would,
charming.
of course.
They're all very charming. You're very
Is Cameron
charming.
Diaz charming? Or just, loud and drama queen? Because to
Cameron
me,
Diaz?
she's just loud and drama queen.
I don't find her very charming.
I don't find any charm.
As a straight white male, I don't find her very charming. If I met this person, I'd be like, you're a pain in the ass. I think I'd get
High
along with her in a friend
word.
way, but yes, I think she'd be a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah, friends, yes. Lovers, eh.
So the coffee pot wasn't plugged in, and then they just awkwardly stand there. And they go back and forth about not having to worry about anything. He says the ex is mistaken, which is weird. And then she did something.
Well, he's just saying that they had a good time.
She either did something right, or he was being polite, or both, perhaps.
I think the boyfriend's just a jackass, and she's probably fine.
Okay, Rachel, I don't know what I meant by this note. Oh, because
Okay,
she couldn't find the coffee cup, and it's they're right behind Jude Law. You can see them.
Okay, right, but I think the whole idea is that she's also flustered in a different house,
Okay.
and she just hooked up with this guy, and
Okay, all right, I'll give
can't
you
find
that.
the coffee mug, and
I'll
it
give you
could
that.
be in
I'll
her
give you
hand.
that. I'll give you that. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. He says, just so you know, things in his life are complicated, and he's also a mess. So they try to convince each other not to go further with this, because she's emotionally reserved, she doesn't fall in love, she doesn't think she can fall in love, and he never remembers to call after a date, but since this isn't one, he thinks he's off the hook. So he's happy about that too.
I don't even know if that's true. I think he just doesn't. I don't think he forgets. I think he just doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Hey, when you're Jude Law, you can get away with it, like you said. He's going to run out of women eventually, but till then.
Yeah, in this small town.
Yeah. But if she wants to, if she changes her mind, he's going to be having dinner with some friends at the pub. And if not, and if she doesn't change her mind, she's lovely. She says, so are you. And that's the end of their rendezvous.
Well, the only thing that you missed was he got a call from a girl.
Oh, yes.
A girl's name.
Yes. Sophie?
And she looked at it. I think it was Sophie.
Okay.
And
yes.
that's
I did not write that down.
okay. So she kind of even thinks in her head.
Yeah, he's a player.
He's just a player.
Yeah. Which she didn't care. She was fine with that.
Right.
After all that, she's still going to leave. But as she's at the airport, we get another fake trailer in her head.
Yes.
But then it cuts to Iris waking up in bed. And, okay, we get some Jet playing, and we get... I think it's Jet, right? Isn't that the song that plays?
I don't know. I
Isn't
wasn't really paying
Are you
attention
going
to
to be
that.
my girl?
Is it? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, it's Jet. Are you gonna be my girl?
Oh. I don't think I realized that.
So Jet plays, and then she dances in bed. So it's the same thing that Cameron Diaz was doing to the killers earlier. Is this a thing? Is this a thing that people like to see in these type of movies? Is the main characters dancing?
They're so quirky. They're so quirky. I get on the bed and I just start dancing, and I'm just so quirky.
Okay. I just wanted to know.
I don't know. I think it is like a thing. I feel like... I don't know.
Because both characters do that in this movie.
Right.
I think it's just so that people at the theater are just like, oh, I just love them. They're so fun.
Right.
How does this guy find her? Did she give him her number? Or is this like her cell phone?
It's got to be the cell phone, right? So it's got to be her number, which is then, why did you ask, how am I going to reach you?
Yeah.
You have her cell phone.
Okay, thank you.
You pompous jackass.
Yes. None of that made any sense. All right, perfect. I'm glad. So he wants to send her some pages of the book that he's writing, and claims she's the only one that can help do that. And then he immediately, like a fucking creep, is like, have you gotten a chance to put on that little red bikini of yours? Oh, yeah. Bet you got that little red bikini.
Cute.
It's so inappropriate. And
it's inappropriate, but it's also being manipulative again. He's flirting with her to make sure she does what he wants.
Oh. Definitely. Then he yells towards his fiance, and it's like, the fuck is wrong with you people?
This guy's disgusting.
We cut back to Jude Law going to the pub. He doesn't see Cameron Diaz, but he sees his friends. Then he sees her drinking at a little table, and she waves at him.
Yep, it's cute. It's cute because she decides to go.
Yeah,
and he's
it's fine.
actually,
She didn't leave. Yeah.
It's cute.
It's fine. So we go back to Iris. Iris sees an old man walking, thinking that he's lost. So she pulls over and introduces herself and asks him if he needs a lift home. And he says, "You know where I live?" And she's like, "Yeah, I think I do." And he says...
Because she's probably seen her, like, the nurse and him walking.
Yeah.
Enough, I would imagine.
And he says, "That's good, that's one of us." It's another meet cute, really.
It's cute. Yeah, he says that. He
points out that it's a meet cute.
It's cute that
yeah.
I liked that. I love this old man.
Yes, so this old man...
He's so endearing.
This old man is played by Eli Wallach, who is obviously an old man. He turned 90 years old when they were doing this. He almost lived to be 100.
Oh, wow.
He lived to be like 99. He's
That's
in
awesome.
a ton of stuff. He has 172 acting credits on IMDb.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Jeez.
So he shows up here and there and everywhere throughout the years.
Okay.
So he's just obviously a very, very prolific actor. He was Tuco in The Good and Bad and the Ugly. He was in The Magnificent Seven. He was in Baby Doll. Holiday's actually one of the ones that comes up as like one of the things you might know him from, but he's in TV, he's in movies, all over the place, this guy.
That's crazy.
And you're right. He's a very sweet character. Oh
my god, definitely.
Arthur and Iris's relationship is the best relationship in the movie.
Absolutely. But I think she needed that too. I think she needed this kind of a relationship.
Like a
friendship.
Friendly old man. Yeah.
Yeah.
He asks her where she's from and says Surrey, and he says, "Oh, Cary Grant's from Surrey. He told me that once." Except he's not from Surrey. I can't remember where he's from, but I don't think that's right.
Oh, really?
He explains what a meet cute is to her.
Yes.
Rachel, would you like to explain what a meet cute is? Since I've said it like 7 times in this podcast, and I don't know if we've said meet cute before on the podcast. Probably have.
It's one of those moments.
My favorite
where...
meet cute is Michael Myers and Laurie Strode. But continue. I'm sorry that we've discussed on the podcast.
Of course. Anyways, a meet cute is when two characters or two people have this like moment and they kind of like catch each other and like actually meet in that moment.
It's actually seeing
so it's,
the meeting of two of the
like
characters.
right, for like the first time type of deal. A lot of the times it's like, oh, the person drops something and then they both reach for it to like the one person's gonna pick it up for them, and they pick it, and then they like look at each other, meet cute, you know. Or like his explanation is the one, they're going for pajamas and the one wants a
It's
top
from an
and the other
actual
one wants a
movie, but I
bottom.
did not understand what the hell he was
Is
talking
it
about.
really?
Yeah, at least according to the IMDb trivia, it's like from some movie, I can't remember what. And I was like, but that doesn't make sense. Why would the woman be going for
So random.
one half of
In the men's
pajamas?
department.
Yeah.
Anyways, so like, and then they meet at the department because they both ask at the same time.
My favorite meet cute example is from John Mulaney's stand-up about getting eye donations. But yeah, anyway, sorry.
That's another random one. Oh my god. But yeah, so I mean, like, that's what a meet cute is. It's just it's the way the characters actually come together and meet each other.
Yeah.
I like meet cutes though. They're cute. They're fun.
Well, according to Arthur, this one was not very cute. So we find out that
because he's saying that he's an old man. So
So we find out that Arthur was in the film business. He was a writer, and she helps him in the house, and she sees this office just full of papers and shit lying around everywhere, as an old man does. I mean, God help me when I'm an old man, how full of shit my office will be. The walls have some Emmys on them. There's even an Oscar. Mm-hmm. She says she enjoyed their meet cute, and he thanks her for rescuing him. Do you think that he really couldn't find his house? Do you think he really has, like, he's losing some memory there? Or...
I think he's just old.
Yeah.
I think he was just walking and was kind of like, oh wait, I'm turned around.
Yeah,
where am I at?
that's what I think
he
too.
was just turned around.
Yeah.
I think he could have figured it out eventually, but
But you don't want an old man to wander around too long there.
no.
She says she doesn't know anyone and invites him for dinner,
Yeah.
unless he's busy. And he says, honey, I haven't been busy since 1978. It's a good line.
It is a good line.
Busy? Honey, I haven't been busy since 1978.
So we learned that he was Louis B. Mays' office boy. He was a Western Union manager. Mm-hmm. So now the old man gets to tell his stories to someone.
And I like that. It's so nice that she just gets to sit and like listen to all the stories. It's good.
She asks him if Hollywood was really as great as she imagines, and he goes, it was better. And all I thought was, yeah, hookers and blow like crazy.
Oh my god. Of course.
She has to explain to him why he came here. She came here, blah, blah, blah. She wanted to get away from people she sees all the time. And one person, she explains the whole thing. I feel like we get this conversation a lot in this movie. We get this conversation a couple of times between the two characters. It didn't need to be in this so many times. What you could have done was you could have said, so why are you here? And then you repan across the restaurant after she told the whole story. And, and all you hear is him go, he's a schmuck. Like, that would have been
loved
better.
that.
It would have cut 5 fucking minutes off of this thing, and you would have gotten the same effect.
Yeah.
So anyway, he calls him a schmuck.
I love that, yeah. He is a schmuck.
And he is a schmuck. I love the word.
It's a good
schmuck.
word. I love that word.
It's a great
It's
word.
so good. Oh, one of my favorites.
People need to use the word schmuck more because it's great.
I think so.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's got that nice tone to it.
Yeah,
it's got a
just
just
a
enough
hard K in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
He left you. It wasn't hard to figure out that he's a schmuck, and he tells her that you are a leading lady. Acting like the best friend. So again, some more metatextual stuff from Hollywood, where it's like we have leading ladies, we have best friends in these type of movies. You're acting like the best friend.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, maybe some people need to hear that in real life.
I
She
would
even
agree.
said, "I am supposed to be the leading lady in my own life, and I'm not even that."
Yeah, so her therapist didn't even explain anything to her that well.
At least we know she
Now-
was going to a therapist.
Main character syndrome is a thing, though. You need to make sure you can be the leading lady in your own life, but don't think that you're the main character of the world's story because
Right.
you're fucking
There's
not.
other people to life.
Yeah. Back at the cottage, we learned that Cameron Diaz had a ton to drink, and he was still here. He woke up with her that morning, or he was. She's like, "Did we?" And she does some fingers in holes, and that's what she does.
She does. Why did she beat around the bush the night before? She was just like, "Can we have sex?" And it's like now it's like, oh, did we do that thing that we did the night before?
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Why does she kind of? Well, yeah, I don't know. I guess because
And
now
it's
she's
like-
embarrassed because she didn't prompt it.
Well, I like that he says that he doesn't like to sleep
Yeah, he's
with women
old-fashioned.
who
He
are-
doesn't-
that shouldn't even be an old fashioned. That's just a normal thing.
Well,
like,
yeah, yes. I mean,
don't
that's-
sleep with women that are passed out.
He's saying it facetiously, like, you're
Yeah, I
unconscious.
know.
I'm
He's
not
trying to
yeah.
be cute.
Yeah.
But I think that's why she's like freaking out a little bit because she's like, oh my god, did I have sex when I was drunk?
I think part of it is that she doesn't want to have done all of that without remembering it too.
I guess she wants to remember the time. Yeah.
So that might be a part of it. So
Just
we learned that
go to bed.
Yes, just go to bed. That's our advice to all of those listening drunkenly to Shelf Life. Just go to bed. You can listen a little bit more, but then go to bed.
Or be a stand-up guy like Graham and just be there for somebody if they need you.
If they begged
have
you to
sex with them.
stay,
Yeah.
I guess. Because that's what we learned is that she begged
Well,
him
he
to
got her
stay.
home too, so
That's true.
I stand-up guy.
That's true. I'll give you that. All right. Great guy. Great guy, that Graham. What's his name? Oh, it doesn't say on the... I thought he has a full name, but it doesn't say on the credits. Great guy, that Graham. We know it's Amanda Woods. I don't know if we know their last name.
Do we know Iris's?
Okay, according to this, it's Iris Simpkins and Graham Simpkins.
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 That's never said. That
And
is
Miles
never
Dumont. Yeah, that's never said in the movie.
said. That is never said.
Graham gets a call from an Olivia and takes it outside, and I think she's
Yep.
getting suspicious of all of his female suitors.
Because he seems to be kind of like trying to woo her, if you will.
Yes. There's sheep in the background. That's a nice touch. He wants to go to lunch to get to know each other. And he says they're running out of reasons why they shouldn't, even though they just wanted to hook up. I don't buy that, but whatever. So I think
because they now she came back and actually went to the pub to meet him.
yeah. So I guess he just feels like, well,
So
let's just
are you
hang out.
trying to say it should just be like a hookup, or is it more than that?
Yeah.
I think his point is that, well, considering they've met up now and she came back for, well, I don't think she came. Well, he's being a bit presumptuous if he says that she came back for him, but she did kind of meet at the pub. So
Yeah,
of
she
course
did. She
he's
came
like,
back
well, now
for
let's
him.
just go out because I want to see
Yeah.
you again. You want to see me again. Let's go.
Yes. On this date, we find out that Jude Law is a book editor, and the better the writer, the less notes.
A lot of
Excellent.
writers, editors.
Yes, well, it's because, again, I think Nancy Myers is putting, like,
Oh yeah,
her touch on it.
that
Yeah.
seems yeah.
He feels like he's on a job interview, and
I
she's
said the
like, "Do
same
you
thing when she started asking him
Yes.
questions. I'm like, okay, calm down. Not a job interview.
Yeah,
Date.
there's much better ways to be able to ask questions to people on a date. She's just not good at it.
Spitfire
And-
like questions
and-
after question.
Well, and she's not good at it because she knows she's not good at it. She's emotionally unavailable.
Right.
She's very much like, I'm business, work.
Business.
So she doesn't. Yes, I'm glad that she. Yes. So he tells her maybe we can bend the first date rules. You make me nervous. One of them says you make me nervous. I can't remember who says that.
I
though.
don't know.
Anyway, she asks him how he knew he was going to be a editor. Did he always want to be an editor?
Mm-hmm.
And he says that his family is in writing.
So I guess
So
that
keep
makes
in mind,
sense. Yeah.
keep in mind, his sister is a journalist.
Right.
So he's an editor. His sister is a journalist. His dad is a writer,
Right.
and his mom is an editor at Random House.
Isn't she like a manager? Like she owns a publishing company or something? Isn't that what he says?
Well, I think she's like the lead.
Oh, she's the
head
lead.
editor
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Random House. The fucking
Nepotism.
nepotism.
You're really taking it in the wrong direction again, though, because she works for a newspaper. So yeah, maybe it's because like
I'm not
other
even
people...
talking about Iris.
You're just talking about him.
necessarily. These two people, because they act like their lives are so complicated, and they are not that bad.
Okay.
They have.
Well, once you learn his story, yeah, it is
yes,
worse.
he's got a tragic backstory. They're all kind of more well off. It seems like as like a tropish type of thing. I'm thinking of Hallmark movies. I feel like nobody in Hallmark movies ever has like a real problem.
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily true either, but I don't know. It just feels
Well,
like a trope.
I think you're doing they're poor according to the writing and what they're saying, but
they always
own
have, like,
this
this
giant
impossible
loft that like
house.
could
Yes.
it would be millions of dollars and you pay
Yes.
$1,000 a month. It's like
It's more fun to make fun of how dumb they are anyway. So this is according to the IMDb trivia. Iris is... So who knows if this is real or not. 480 of 509 people found this interesting. Iris's tiny cottage is contrasted to Amanda's stunning house, but in reality, thanks to UK property prices, an unspoiled cottage like that, in a good location, could be easily worth up to $2 million.
So the idea is that they're trying to make it look like it's not worth that, but technically in real life, it would be worth that.
Yes. I think that's what they're trying to get across. And that's just because
property values are insane anyways.
Yeah,
everywhere.
And I have no idea when that was written, so who knows when that actually, like, was that as of the time? I mean, it probably was, because 2006, the market was going up, but who knows. Anyway, she owns the company, which we already knew, and that intimidates him a little bit. And she says, well, that's a little bit is way ahead of the curve. Which, again, folks, men at home, get over yourselves. Christ. Like, if the girl makes money, good. That's good for you. You can sit on your ass and she can do all the work.
But it screws up their masculinity. Masculinity is
fucking
everything.
Cares. But yeah, everybody, I'll get over yourselves. Who fucking cares? Like, idiots.
Right?
Goddamn idiots.
Oh, and then this is when they also talk about her crying stuff again.
Yes, she says that she can't cry.
And she explains it. She gives this whole story.
That she was the Three Musketeers with her parents, because she's an only child, and then one night the parents got a divorce and her dad left, and she hasn't cried since.
Yes, exactly. But they were like, she thought they had the best relationship. They were like what she probably pictured as love, and then all of a sudden divorce. So we kind of understand her.
It's supposed to be why she's so emotionally detached.
Right. I think that's kind of the explanation for it. It's a very short explanation, but it is an explanation.
I just put that's a very personal story to tell, which I guess is just kind of the point where she's opening up to him.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that you would tell this on even the second date, if we want to count when they hooked up the first date, and maybe the pub as the second date, maybe you would explain that, like, oh yeah, my parents got divorced, but the whole... I guess it's different because they've established this relationship on the backs of, we want to stay as a hookup and not
so you're saying that you wouldn't divulge personal information to somebody unless it was just a hookup and you're never going to see them again? I disagree. I think they had a connection.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's evolving from that, and the groundwork was, why are you so emotionally unavailable?
Yes,
and now she's
it kind of just
explaining
evolved into, well, let me just, okay, fine, I'll explain this, even though I don't tell anybody, which sounds like she didn't even tell the ex this story. I think it's that she actually has a connection with this guy, so she's going to actually tell the story of her life.
Right, exactly. Yeah, because the ex didn't care. The ex was very self-centered and a douche.
So I misinterpreted what you were saying, but yes, it is. I think I agree that it is evolving into something more.
He says he cries all the time, because of course he does. He's a man.
I relate with that.
You know who else cries all the time? Macho Man. He admitted to crying.
That's right. Macho Man, man to man.
Yep. Macho Man to man. They have lunch, they leave, they kiss, they make out, and she looks apprehensive, because I think she's fearing that she's getting too close to this guy.
Right. Which is...
So she said...
understandable. You're on vacation.
And she says she doesn't want him to come in because that makes things complicated and she can't handle that right now. And then she kisses him again and it just mixes the signals up even more. And I was like, oh, okay, good. He pointed it out. Because I was like, wait, what is she doing? And then he's like, okay, yeah, you're kissing me.
Yeah, and it's like, well, sex makes it complicated. Well, it does if you're not having it, and it's an awkward conversation that I feel like wasn't necessary.
This conversation they have in the car?
I don't know. There was just something about this, like, everything is complicated. Sex is complicated. No sex is complicated.
They talk about how complicated everything is so much. It does get a little bit like, yeah, we get it. Yeah, I get your point.
Yeah, so that's why it was kind of like, okay, too much. Like, you could have just said, okay, good night. Like, I'm not letting you in. Big deal.
Yeah. And that's what I think I mean. Like, I actually like the structure of the film. The way that we go back and forth and how we kind of develop. We develop one relationship, then we develop the next relationship.
And then another.
So we give them time. I do think the pacing is bad.
Yeah.
But I do
and the
like the
lingering
structure of it.
Bad.
And that's the difference between the two things. It's like, I like the structure of it, but this didn't need to be as long. This conversation probably did not need to happen this way. Because 95% of this movie is just two people talking.
Yeah. And then a montage, and then talking, and then montage, and then more talking.
Yeah, it's montages and talking. So, back to L.A., Miles knocks on Iris's door. She got a FedEx to look at the notes.
Yeah.
And we find out that she's having a Hanukkah party. She, I guess, was talking to Arthur. It turned into a thing, so she has all these old men over at... Okay, I gotta say this.
Go on.
Now,
I'm ready for Kevin's soapbox.
All right. So I get that Airbnb is a thing too. This is a problem on Airbnb. Iris, you are a guest at someone's home, and you're just letting all these people party at someone else's house.
To be
This
fair,
is...
it's 3 old men.
Sure.
It's not a rowdy ass party. Drinks aren't being smashed on
3
the
old
ground.
men and a maid. Whose maid is this?
Is it really?
There's a maid doing
that.
dishes in the background.
Oh, that's true. Well, it's probably just Amanda's maid.
Maybe.
She probably just does actually have, like, hired help around the house. She had the gardeners.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, that's true. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, there's a fucking maid.
I didn't even notice that.
Even later on, she lets the prick in. What's his name? Jasper.
I don't know. She knew what to do in that position, but we'll come to that.
Know.
I would have slammed the door in the face.
I think if Iris said, or not Iris, if Amanda said, yeah, you can have people over, just make sure nothing gets broken, and don't let them in the theater room or whatever.
Yeah,
the
don't
gym,
go into my
whatever.
office. Don't go into this
Don't
area.
let you can use the pool, but please don't let guests use the pool. Whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe they did.
Out.
Maybe they have, like, all of that hashed out. We just don't know.
So Jack Black is this is when Jack Black is basically playing Jack Black.
Yes.
He's laying on the charm like only Jack Black can.
And it is very charming. All of these people having a good time together. I like this.
Yes, yeah, sure. Jack Black is like, yeah, whatever. I'll stick around. I'll party with these old men. I don't care. So we find out that Arthur married very young.
Right.
They talk about his wife.
And she was wonderful.
She had a sweet ass.
Bombshell, I'm assuming.
They talk about Miles. He says he's a one woman at a time kind of man. He's been dating an actress for 5 months. That's Maggie.
Right.
Iris asks, what's she been in? Where is she? Miles says that she's on location in New Mexico.
Yep.
And Arthur gives this, like, little look. And he says... And he disperses the party, because I guess he's like, well, let's let these young people have their time together, I guess.
He probably notices the chemistry.
Ah, okay, yes. As a writer, he can notice the chemistry.
That's right. He goes, wait a minute. They've had a meet cute.
Yes, this is. I can tell you've had a meet cute.
Now they have to have the deeper conversations.
So they discuss Here's Looking at You, Kid, and they give credit to Arthur Abbott, the character, for coming out with the kid. Was funny to me.
Wait, say that again?
They discuss the Here's Looking at You, Kid Casablanca line.
Oh,
and they credit Arthur, the character from The Holiday, with coming up with the kid part of that line.
Right. That is funny. It's weird, it's funny, but I mean, like, all right, you're making him sound, like, cooler. You know, like, that's...
Yeah, they're trying to tie back old Hollywood, I think, a lot, too. I'm not sure if Nancy Myers is trying to make an old Hollywood, a Philadelphia story type of movie with this. Is that a goal? Is she trying to be old romance? Maybe? And, like, spruce it up for the 21st century?
Could be.
Nancy, please let us know. Ms. Myers,
we know
please
you
let us know.
listen. Yeah.
I know she's a lifer.
We
Nancy
have all
Myers
of these
is a
Hollywood
lifer.
people listening to us. They
fucking course we do.
Part of me was like, I couldn't tell if maybe she thought, oh, he's just an old man telling stories and he's not actually, like, famous.
Oh, really?
But I didn't know if that was...
She's got the Oscar and the Emmys and stuff.
I know, but I think it was when I first watched it, and that's kind of where my thought was going, was like, does she think like, oh, he's just an old man and he thinks this is like that was his life, or is he
Interesting.
actually like bigwig Hollywood type of deal? But
Mm-hmm.
I know now, but it's just I think it was my first thoughts. If you wanted my initial thoughts on the movie.
Okay, interesting. I didn't get that, only because like they're living in like the Hollywood,
Yeah. But I think it was the moments of the old man moments of like not
Sure.
knowing where he was. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
he
let
could
me
be
tell you about my
misremembering-
old life
Yes,
where I knew every
you're right.
Hollywood star.
Maybe he's misremembering Casablanca and he's giving himself credit for it, and it's not really him. Yeah, we learned that Arthur gave Iris a bunch of movies to watch, or names of different old school movies to watch, and Miles says maybe they can watch a movie, and he gives her a kiss on the cheek goodbye, compliments the chef's cooking, not hers. That maid was cooking the food, and then he's got this Jack Black charm to him. He even looking like Jack Black.
He
You
does,
can sort
yes.
of buy her being like, he's very charming. He's very
Yeah,
charming.
like,
This
it's
American is
cute
very
and-
charming.
Right.
Amanda is taking a bath. We get the internal
Well, he
trailer
kisses her
voice again.
twice too.
Yes, because he
doesn't
apologizes. He's like,
and then he lingers, and it's like
Yeah.
this whole thing, and it's just like, oh,
I like that he points it all out. Though.
yes, there's something
I feel
even
like
more
I've done
charming
that in
about
real
that.
Yeah, just being like, now I'm standing here too long, and I have to get out of here. Yeah,
And then there's like the whole wind thing comes back again, and like don't blow
it's
away.
very windy.
And,
Yeah, don't blow away. Oh yeah, because he told her don't blow away. when
But the
met
wind is
Hughes.
back, so we know
Yes.
like things are happening. The magic.
So Amanda, because she told Jude Law to go home, she is like, what am I doing? So she drives to his house. This is where you find the mill house. Yep, that's what the cottage door says. It says
The way
mill
you
house.
said it.
Because mill house.
So Millhouse is gonna answer the door. Hello.
Oh,
I help
hi,
you?
Amanda.
You got the dud.
She got the dud. She opens the door and there's the dud.
Oh god.
Stand up for yourself, point. And we learn that he has a cow.
You have a cow. You're rolling in it. You got your own milk? Jeez.
She says she wants to hang out. She hears glass clinking and realizes that he's not alone. So, uh-oh. Is there a woman there? Is he married?
Right.
And here's the twist. It's two little red-headed English girls.
They're cute.
Sophia and Olivia.
They are cute. And I know
And I'm
you make
sorry.
fun of them.
But from now on, for the next couple of minutes, I'm going to be saying, Dottie.
Oh, but Dottie.
Let her in the house, Dottie.
Dottie.
Because it's fun to do little kid British accents for me.
It's very
they have
nice to meet you. Like, they're
so
very
here's a-
cute, though. Like, the
Here's
little
a
one is
question.
adorable.
Yes, the little one is very, very adorable. I can't even. Yes, she just is. Here's a question for you. So they called him.
Yeah.
They have cell phones in
Yeah,
2006.
I did also think that was odd that they have, like, their own name
Yeah.
come up
Now,
instead of,
I
like,
could see-
home or something.
Yes, exactly. Now, because or the grandparents' names because they were
Right.
at the grandparents. It just feels odd. Like even if you're a single father, I understand you might need to have a little bit more tabs on the kids'
Right.
whereabouts, but cell phones.
Yeah, I did think it was odd. Maybe there's multiple lines in the house, and he named them after them, and so they used the lines in the house.
Maybe.
I'm just coming up with excuses now.
Yeah,
It was just so that they saw the girls' names
Yes.
on the phone. That's the only reason.
Yes.
It should have said home. It should have said mom. You know, that's what it should have
Yes.
said.
Cameron acts like she's naked under this coat. Didn't you think? Like the way that she's like holding the coat
A
to
little
her,
bit,
to
yeah.
herself.
She's just like, I'm gonna go in a trench coat and like just
Yeah.
surprise him. No,
That's how she's playing.
it does look that way a little bit, but she just wanted to make sure that he wasn't actually married.
Two lines that I like here. The one is her asking him, "Are you married? Tell me right now." Like it's okay, just tell me right now.
Yes.
And then also the
the spelling.
littler girl.
Oh. I thought
Oh,
the
no,
spelling was cute too when she goes DIAVORCED and he goes WIOW. I can't spell. W. W-I-D.
She's a widower.
O-W-E-R.
Oh, no.
Like the divorce versus the widower. Like, it was just like a subtle way of like saying it.
No, the part that I liked was the little girl going, the littler girl. So I can't remember which one is
she's
littler. Olivia, I think is the littler one. But whichever one the littler one is, going, "You look just like my Barbie."
Yes.
I thought that
and
was
she's
funny.
like, "Is that a compliment?" Like, she didn't know whether to be like, "Thanks."
Of course it's a compliment. "You look like my Barbie, Daddy. She look like Barbie, she does."
You're giving her way too much Cockney.
Of course. That's what makes it more... Cockney's more funny.
Dad, take our coat.
Yes. May I?
Oh, sure, thanks. Are you married? Tell me fast.
No.
Wow.
I know, I'm a tad overdressed.
You look like my Barbie.
Thanks.
They're even like, "Dad, get a coat, Dad."
Well, yeah, they're trying to be like, "You're supposed to be polite. What are you doing? Like, come on."
Yeah. So we find out he's a widower. Of course he is, because... Of course he is. It's
Well,
these type of movies.
It makes more sense now why he kind of just drinks and tries to get away and...
Oh, do you think it does?
Yeah.
I feel like if he was a divorcee, I could get all of his hookups. I thought it was a little weirder that he's a widower and he's doing all these
He's
one-night
depressed.
stands.
And he's just trying not to be himself when he's out. Because if he is himself, he lost his wife, and he's a father of 2, and they don't have a mother anymore. And that's depressing for him. So I think it's his way of escaping his own life. It's escapism.
I think that's what he explains. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't...
You
didn't
don't
quite
get that?
Yeah, which, I mean, I'm not a widower, so I don't understand that.
Sure.
But I can't, I can't relate.
Yeah. There's probably multiple ways
But-
people go with those things. It's either... Well, I mean, I think it's more so
I
he's
feel
not going
like-
to fall in love again. I don't think he wanted to fall in love again. But he wants
He's
to feel
just-
close
yeah.
to somebody.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, and he's trying to have a completely different personality than being the dad when they're out of town.
The sad, lonely father of 2.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. It
so-
gets really sad now. We were like making fun of everything, and then that just makes it so sad.
All right, well, let's get back to making fun of stuff. So they have hot chocolate, and Amanda gets a cream mustache. I don't know what she got this... I don't understand how she gets this mustache, by the way, because what is in the hot chocolate?
I think it's
besides
just...
marshmallows
Maybe
and
it's
hot
the
chocolate?
melted marshmallow?
Oh, maybe. Okay. And then they're like,
Foam?
"Daddy, you have to do this because you said you would, and it's funny." And they're like, "Oh, it's out of you'll fall out of your chair. It's so funny, Amanda."
Yeah, because they're little children, but like little English children are so proper. And so whenever you hear them talk, it's just like you feel like you're talking to an adult, but they're children.
And he does Mr. Napkin Head.
Oh my god, it's
which
such a
sounds like
dad thing, though. It did.
some like D-list Blumhouse movie. I guess it's charming. I was a little embarrassed watching it.
Well, it should be cringy. I think that's the point because he's like a dad. But
We find out that they made a tent in their room
Mm-hmm.
and they hang out in there. And I put, this feels straight out of a Hallmark movie.
yeah,
This sequence.
it's cute though.
And then the little one is like, "We are the 3 Musketeers," which is, of course, what Amanda said her family was called.
And I think that's he was afraid to say like, "Oh, that's what I call my family," you know,
Yes, he didn't want to tell her that at the...
because he didn't
was
want to tell him about the kids. He always avoids that.
Right. Well, and I think it makes sense. He's like, I wasn't going to bring over some woman that I was going to bring, like, you were going to leave in 2 weeks and then
Right.
what? So, like, why would I bring you over to them? The older one says that she can sleep over. They're considering, I think, all 3 of them are conspiring against her. They're trying to swindle her into being a stepmom.
That's what's happening. It all
Yeah.
makes sense now.
This whole family is trying to pull her in.
They just want her money.
Goddamn right they do. So he's got this huge library. He does. This library is pretty huge. Again, it looks like the Shelf Life offices. This is where I was like, this impossible house. Why didn't he tell her? Okay, there's something on the table in this scene. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is, but I was trying to figure out what it was because I was like, why would he just have a bowl of stuff?
Do you think it's just potpourri?
Maybe? I was trying to figure it out. Okay, ready? She's going to sit down. And then you get, when they go back to her... There. What is that? Is that
Peanuts?
cheese curds? Don't they look too
Walnuts?
big to be peanuts?
Walnuts.
Oh, maybe they're walnuts.
I'm gonna go with walnuts.
And Christmas walnuts.
Yes! Christmas comes back
Okay.
because we keep forgetting it's Christmas because it's not really prominent in this at all. The holiday only means vacation. It doesn't mean actually a holiday.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Okay, walnuts. Thank you. That was going to drive me nuts. I'm glad that we got to the bottom of that.
Everybody,
Folks at home,
I hope you feel much better.
Yeah.
There are walnuts on the table.
Walnuts is what we went with. Or some sort of nut.
They should have put
for a nutcracker.
Yeah, they should have put like a nutcracker or something next to it to make it obvious. Just put a poinsettia behind it and that's it.
Something to make me not think that they were like mozzarella stick, a bowl of mozzarella
balls.
sticks. So we find out that they were with the grandparents. He gets to be something else when they're away. This is when he explains all of that.
Yeah.
I thought that the dialogue was getting a little
Long.
unreal, a little exposition-y, a little not feeling natural at this point between them telling these stories, but it is what it is. Iris, back in Los Angeles, is becoming familiar with everyone, including going to Arthur. This dude says that 9 movies opened today, and he remembers when 9 movies opened in a month. And I'm thinking, what are you talking about, old man? I feel like they used to churn shit out constantly.
Yeah, they had
back in the
constant
day.
movies because
'Cause
they
you
were
didn't
just
have a
like, they were
television.
short.
Yeah.
People needed something to go to see.
I mean, folks, let us know if we're wrong about that, but I feel like he's
least-
off base with this
At
one.
least from what we know with like the Twilight Zone episode, again, bringing that back up, she was like in so many movies, just one
Yeah.
after the other, after the other, after the other. So there must have been a ton going out at the same time.
I thought so, but maybe not. Iris is talking about some of the leading ladies that are in the movies that he's suggested to her.
Yes.
Because he's trying to make a point to her.
He's
Because
giving her strong women, strong leads.
Yes. Ladies that got gumption.
Yep.
Gumption. Rachel, you know what the word gumption means?
Define it, Kevin.
I was going to say it's chutzpah.
Chutzpah. You got that chutzpah. I feel like you have to say it like that if you say it. I don't know why.
So it means shrewd or spirited.
Yeah.
Initiative, resourceful.
Chutzpah and gumption, I feel like, are very similar.
Yeah, I don't know how to spell chutzpah.
I couldn't tell you.
Extreme self-confidence or audacity. He throws away this like letter because she brought him his mail. Mm-hmm. We find out that it's a letter from the Writers Guild. They want to do a tribute night to him, and he doesn't want to do it because
so
he's
sad.
like, "Oh, no one's gonna show up. Like, I don't need to have a tribute to me." I get it.
Yeah,
'Cause,
I
like,
would be
if you're
worried
this
too
kind
that
of-
nobody cares like about everything you did in your life, and then nobody's gonna show up, and it's sad.
I even more just think like I'm an old man. I don't want to like have to deal with like he. I think he doesn't think that people really care, that they're just doing it to like say
Just
they
to
did
do
it. Yeah. But Iris is like, no, you have to do it. You have to like, this is a big deal. And now we get a montage of them because he thinks like, well, I can't even walk up the stairs to
Yeah,
like,
he doesn't
accept
wanna
something, to
look
get on a
old.
stage. Yeah, he doesn't want to look old. I think that's his biggest hang up. So she says, well, if we just work out. So now there's a montage of them working out and doing
Yes.
exercises. And
It's
I'm like,
such a random one.
has a month passed? What is going on?
Yeah, I was like, how are you gonna get him like in shape in like 2 days? Like, what is happening?
So Jude Law calls her. This is the infamous 3-way call scene
Oh my
from
god,
the holiday.
cringy.
Hi, sorry, that was Amanda.
How'd she sound? How's she doing?
She just asked me how you are.
And what did you say?
I asked her to hold. Can I call you back?
I can hold while you speak to her.
Really?
Find out how she is.
Okay. My brother wants to know how you are.
Can you tell him that I'm good and that I'm just taking Charlie for a walk in the village? What's he been up to, did he say?
I'm not sure. Do you want me to ask him?
Sure.
Okay. Hold, please. I can't believe that you have had sex with a woman staying in my house!
He told you that?
Oh my god!
Oh my God!
Oh my god! I thought I was talking to Graham. Could you just hold, please? I'm terribly sorry. I can't believe you've had sex with Amanda. The one thing she asked me was, are there any men in your town? And I assured her that there were not. And then you meet her and immediately get into her knickers.
Still me.
How did she figure out they were sleeping together?
Okay, this is really obvious. It's very obvious.
Explain.
Okay, so One,
I am an idiot. I need these things explained to me.
it's maybe it's a girl thing. The way they're acting. Ask her how she's doing. Oh, okay. He's wondering how you're doing. Oh, I'm doing really good. I'm taking the dog for a walk. Like, this is how they're acting, okay? And then ask him what he's like. I'll just like, I'm doing this and that, like, hee. It's very childish. It's
the
very
dog's name
like
is Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie. It's very like high school, like, we just started dating and we're like really cute, and it's like, oh, ask him how he's doing because I miss him, like that kind of a thing. So she goes, okay, you guys are making me do this. You slept with her. It's obvious.
All right. I mean, I guess I wouldn't
she
go
knows her
I wouldn't
brother.
go straight. Yeah, that's true. She does know her brother, so that's fair.
So if she goes like, oh yeah, you guys met, and he goes, yeah, and I just check in on her just to make sure she's doing good, that's fine. But going, what? Can you ask her how she's doing? Like, that sounds very high school. I have a crush on this person. Be that third person in the middle to get us to talk to each other type of thing. So that's why I think it's very obvious, and that's why she comes up with this right away.
Okay. I mean, that's I just don't read people that well, I guess. But I the way that you described it, I will buy that.
Yeah.
Rachel's improving the writing for you, Nancy Myers, because I was ready to tear your movie an asshole here. So
you're welcome.
Better think.
I'm glad I can translate these things for you.
You had to.
That's why we're here. All the perspective.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so they're basically doing the Jerry Seinfeld thing where Jerry has the 2-line phone, because then it's quirky antics.
Oh, right. And she goes to yell at the brother and goes, I can't believe you slept with her. And she goes, oh my God, he told you that. And this whole thing
Iris
happens.
Is a spaz. She doesn't know how to operate the phone properly and keeps talking to Amanda and then drops him. Yes, just big hoodwinks and bamboozles.
Right.
And then she thinks that Jude Law calls her back, but it's actually Miles. And
yeah, the
Miles
way she's like like in a huff. Like you definitely think it's Graham. Yeah.
Now, this is interesting because I guess Miles does have a little bit of a thing for her, because he's like, hey there, what are you doing for Christmas? I get it. Like, you just met somebody that's like, oh, she's alone, and I don't have anything going on for Christmas either.
Yeah, and she's nice, and
how are all these people not you don't have like a family that you have to go to or anything like that?
Well, Hollywood people.
That's true. Hollywood people are very lonely people.
Yeah, I think that's how I'm gonna put it. Like, and his girlfriend's away, so he's just kind of like, I'm on my own too.
Okay, yeah, we can make that assumption.
All
Hollywood people, all
of them are every one of them.
All of them are
nepotism,
just lonely.
Nepotism, rich, don't need to complain about things.
Yeah,
lonely.
Right. Yep. We're not in the business, so we can say these
Absolutely
things.
Not. Or are we?
Or are we?
And this is how we know.
She's like, well, I was just going to go to Blockbuster and pick up one of these movies that Arthur mentioned. And Miles is like, I'll come. Why not?
Do we have to explain Blockbuster?
I don't think we have to explain Blockbuster. But I do think that in this day and age, this looks very antiquated.
Yeah.
That they'd be walking around Blockbuster. I miss I
miss this. I liked doing this.
Yes. I liked doing it. You and I did it quite a lot.
Yes.
In the aughts during this time period. Going to rent a video game. Again, I do have to ask this to the lifers just while we're on the subject. How do you rent a video game nowadays? Can you rent a video game? You can rent a movie. But how do you rent a video game?
I don't know if you so much as rent it as you just watch somebody else play it for a little while and then you figure out if you like it or not.
Okay.
I think that's more so what it is nowadays.
Gotcha. But we would spend a lot of time.
Oh, absolutely. You'd walk around,
in video
you see if
stores.
there's anything good.
Yeah.
What's available.
Looking at all this different stuff.
What's new.
Even with the guys, like with my friends, we would do the same thing. Do you remember the cute girl that worked at the video store, Rachel?
Yes, I remember this.
Okay. You thought that I had an opening with the girl working at the video store. But I don't remember why you thought that.
She probably just had the body language. or like
Or
had a
laughed at the
question
joke
or
that I
laughed at
said.
something.
I think she responded positively to whatever joke I made.
It's the body language of the person. Yeah, there's friendly with the customer, and then there's kind of like the, oh, he's kind of cute and flirty, you know. That there's a difference.
Well, I couldn't figure out the phone call situation, so I might have screwed that up. So, cute girl that was working at the video store in our hometown 15 years ago. You know, let me know what's up.
If you recognize this voice, it hasn't changed much.
She was good looking. I remember
her
trying to
being
figure
cute.
out. I remember trying to figure out when she was going to be there, so that I could go look at stuff when she was there.
So we could try to get that opening again. Ugh.
Yeah,
Almost.
Never got the right. There. I mean, that was a good source for a meet cute.
It was
a video store.
That could have been.
Now we've lost that.
That could have been the meet cute, Kevin, and then all of a sudden it just didn't quite hit that cute. Just hit meet.
But it's a good place for a meet cute.
It is
and
a
now
very
we don't
good
have
place. Yeah, there's
It's
not a
gone.
lot of places to like meet cute.
There's
anymore.
not a lot of places for meet cutes anymore.
No.
You have Tinder
Ugh.
and Bar, and that's about it. A pumpkin patch. Yes, but
But like
adults,
after the fact,
for
yeah,
adults.
adult life. It's kind of like
Yeah, you're fucked.
you really have to leave your house and try to meet people, but it's like how?
But nobody wants to do
Nobody
that.
wants to meet people. Nobody wants to
Yeah.
talk.
I don't want to talk to you. I'm out in public. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Okay, so Jack Black in this scene gets to be Jack Black.
Oh my God,
He Jack
yes.
Blacks the shit out of this
Yep.
scene. I got a dollop, I got a big dollop, and a little, she's the big dollop, right here, we got a big dollop, and then...
You went into like a Scottish accent there for a second.
No, I was trying to do Jack Black. Jack Black's got a very like... Well,
yes, this is very true.
So then he starts really doing Jack Black because he's like going around talking about different scores that she needs to listen to. Mm-hmm. So he's going down the list of all this stuff. They even mention a Hans Zimmer. They mention Driving Miss Daisy.
How could you not?
There's a Dustin Hoffman cameo in this for absolutely no reason.
Okay. That was one of the things I noted. That's like one of the only things I've noted in this movie was that I have to ask Kevin, why is he in the aisle? Is there something? Does he do like? And it might just be me being like,
well, he's in The Graduate,
ignorant.
So
okay, so he is in the movie he mentions.
Yes.
Okay. Does he also do like romance? He does like rom-coms, kind of, or does he?
Dustin Hoffman's been in a ton of shit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's just so. Was he just on like the set for like? Was he like in the set next door doing a movie, and they were like, "Hey, you want to just like come be in this real quick? It'd be kind of funny because we're in Blockbuster."
Yes, this is the supposed story that Dustin Hoffman has told, according to what I can see from like an interview Dustin Hoffman gave, or an answer Dustin Hoffman gave once to how he ended up in this cameo.
Okay.
I don't know if I believe it as much as just that he was probably friends with Nancy Myers, but here it is. He happened to see, as he was going to like the gym or something, that there were a bunch of cameras and stuff by this Blockbuster. So he was like, "Oh, I wonder what's going on." I can't do Dustin Hoffman. So I'm Dustin Hoffman. I'm gonna go see what's going on. So he saw that it was Nancy Myers directing, or he asked somebody that must have been, a security on the set or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, well, I'm Dustin Hoffman. You can let me in."
So random.
Nancy was like, "Oh, hi, Dustin. Do you want to do a cameo?" And he was like, "Sure, why not?" So that's just him in his street clothes.
But see, it's not even a cameo. They pan to him. They are on him. He makes like facial like.
He has a line.
Like
he's like, "I can't go anywhere."
He literally could have been like in the background. Yeah, he has a line. I feel like that's like way more than just having him there. I guess it's like a Stan Lee where he always has a line or something, but like it just was so random. I know. It's like, why?
It was very random. It kind of takes you out for a second. Like, what is that? And then the movie The Mission, which I might not. I guess I'm telling on myself. I've never heard of The Mission. Add it to the list, I guess, because Jack Black told us we have to see it.
Do it. There it is. I'm adding it right now. The Mission. It has really good music. He better be right.
According to Miles.
And if he's wrong, we're gonna call him out on that one. Do you think they told him which ones to say, or do you think he was improvising and they just had a bunch of movies on the stands and he was picking them up?
That's a great question. I think it might be a little half and half.
Okay.
I think that there were certain ones that they told him to hit because they had the rights to maybe him being able to do he's bebopping and scatting all over this fucking movie.
He really is.
And so I bet he was able to do it for some of them, and I betcha he picked up some at random and started doing the score.
Yeah.
And coming up with some stuff. And so I don't know
this probably went on for way longer, and they probably cut a bunch of it, but that's what I was curious about. Because it felt kind of natural for him to just be like, oh, this one, and then just do something. Very improvised, like, oh, look at this one. So
definitely. While this is happening, he looks out the window and he sees his girlfriend Maggie with some other dude.
Dun dun dun.
And he runs out and he finds out that she was cheating on him.
I like that he just runs out though and confronts her immediately.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes they wouldn't. Like he would squirrel away and like go, oh, maybe I'll just call her and be like, I'll ask her about it. But he goes, no, what the hell is this? Like immediately just goes out and confronts her.
Yes. No, I agree. I like that. And this is our third cheater in the movie.
Yep.
For those keeping track. So we've got 3 cheaters and a dead wife for our main characters.
That's right.
That's what we got.
2 dead wives. I'm sorry, I count him as a character. He's a main character.
Well, I'm talking about the ones that end up
He is also
together.
in the relationship with her, in a friend relationship, but it is still a relationship. I count it.
Yes.
2 widowers.
So Iris takes him back to Amanda's house, Miles back to Amanda's house to like comfort him, I guess. And he's like, why do I always fall for the bad girl? And she's like, you didn't know. And he's like, I knew she wasn't good. It's a very Jack Black reading of that line. It's kind of a goofier way to say it. I knew she wasn't good. So this is where Iris says she understands, and it's because every time she surprises you, she wins. So she gets another chance every time she does something good. Right. And he never gets disappointed when she does something bad because she doesn't expect her to do anything that isn't bad.
So I think that's kind of her epiphany almost, too, because she realizes this is hers as well. Because she's like, this is what's happening to me, and it's also happening to you. And she's kind of like, this is her enlightenment.
Yes, I think where it's a little bit of enlightenment. We find out that she finished filming in 2 days, and then she's been with him this entire time. And he's like, I even sent her the Christmas package, and this is a blatant product placement and slogan. Because he says he sent her a FedEx, and he even waited in line to make sure that she got it on time. So FedEx's slogan was like, to absolutely get there on time, or whatever the slogan was.
Yeah.
It's very, very close to the slogan the way he said it.
Well, it's FedEx twice now, so definitely
product
placement.
Twice.
That's like,
definitely.
I was trying to figure out what product placement we had in this movie, and you're calling it out now. I didn't even realize it. It's FedEx.
Yes. It's a good way to do it because it was very subtle.
It was very subtle.
But it was
because
there.
You kind of just call it a FedEx, a package.
Yeah.
You know, that it's very interchangeable.
So they start bonding over being sad sacks that got cheated on. She gives all her backstory again, and I don't think that we needed to have this. After she's done with the backstory, though, and she gives a little bit of introspection here about, like, no matter what you do, you're never going to be good enough for them or whatever. And you're going to just keep trying, and you cry every night and all this stuff, and you go over all the details of what you said, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he gets the fuck in, or the one fuck that you're allowed for a PG-13 movie. And he goes, well, fuck. You need this more than I do. So hearing Jack Black say fuck is fun.
Always.
And he puts together that it's the dude that gave her the notes for the book, and they hug it out. Back in Britain, Cam made some pasta, and Iris is watching movies. Oh, so it becomes a montage. They're styling Arthur. Cam is trying to cry some more.
Yeah, they're styling Arthur for the show, the gig, whatever. It's not a gig. It's what do you call that? It's just like
it's banquet.
A banquet.
Yeah, it's the last night that Amanda's going to be in Surrey.
Yes.
So Graham stops by to do it before she goes.
to do it.
To do it. And then we also see Jack Black's house, and Jack Black is twinkling the ivories with Arthur's theme, which I'm guessing is what Hans Zimmer called it.
Probably.
think if you look up the soundtrack, there's a lot of that. There's like Arthur's theme. I think
it's
Nancy
subtly
Meyer's
put into the actual music is Arthur's theme and Iris's theme.
I think there's even one called like Nancy Asked for This or something like that.
Funny.
Because Nancy Meyer's the director was like very insistent on a specific sound for something. So I have a feeling Hans Zimmer rolled his eyes and was like, "Okay, you're getting what you asked for."
My God,
because I feel like Nancy Meyers is both very controlling and very likable.
Probably,
so,
yeah. It's like we all know she's a perfectionist, but you gotta love her. Like,
again, Jack Black is doing some skiddly bop doo dops with Iris here, and Iris is enjoying doing the doodly doops and scroodly doopy doops.
Yeah, they did the same doodly doop, and he goes, "Oh my God, we're doing the same doodly doop now," and it's like, okay.
Iris, if you were a melody. I used only the good notes. Iris lives next door to Arthur. He's a doodly-doo. And also a doodly-doo. A scroodly-doo, is it? I didn't know it.
Yeah.
And fruitily-doo. We both said fruitily. I'm impressed. You are a prodigy. A doodle prodigy.
It's very cute. It's very charming. It's very fun.
Yes, very charming. Jack Black has to sing in every movie he's in, I think, contractually obligated to. So there you got him singing here.
That's right. So expect him to be singing as Bowser.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, Mario came out before this episode will drop, so we will know. But we're recording it before Mario came out. I expect Bowser to at least sing. It's going to be, you know what it's going to be? The end, they're not going to know how to end it, so they're going to end it with everybody singing, and Bowser's going to be...
My God. I could actually see that. Yeah.
Because it's not like Mario doesn't know how to sing. Chris Pratt can sing, too. So, I feel like Iris is having more fun...
100%.
...on her trip.
100%.
But Cam is getting that sweet, sweet Jude Law D.
That's right. So she's having some fun, too.
Yeah, I don't know who's getting the better of this, but Iris is having more fun.
I say Iris because I feel like she might be in a completely different place that she could embrace and be like an asshole and like, you know, act like an elite. But I feel like she's still herself and she's getting to meet all these people and she's really nice and it's just like a good time for her and it's just different. But
and Cam is just kind of met a guy.
Met one guy, and then that's all she's doing.
Yeah. I have to bring this up. And as a brother-sister tag team on this podcast, I think we can discuss this. I feel like it's rude to fuck in your sister's bed.
Yep, I agree. Yep, I find it weird. How does he not find that weird? Come on.
Okay, I'm glad that we're on the same page.
I feel like I'd call you and be like, burn the damn sheets and get out of my bed.
burn the sheets, burn the mattress. You owe me a new mattress. Yeah, you'd be like, okay. There'd be a cutscene. There would be a cutscene where you would see, where I would like have to admit to it, and then the very next cutscene is you just laying a match on a mattress in the backyard. Yeah. Yeah, I thought this was very rude of him.
How does he not think this is weird?
Yeah.
God.
It speaks a lot about their relationship.
Yeah. I guess because he also was like, well, I'm not going to take you back to my house. There's kids. Like,
I guess. And maybe Iris knows he's trying to get over the death of the wife. But
yeah, but I'd still yell at you.
Yeah,
I'd
you'd
still be like,
anywhere
seriously.
Else. The tub. Anywhere.
the couch. Just be downstairs. Get out of my room.
Amanda and Graham are talking about their future. They're talking about long-distance relationships.
Yeah, because now they're kind of falling for each other.
And I'm like, all right, Cameron Diaz, you own the company. You could probably
work remotely?
Yes, exactly. I don't think you need to be in... Now, maybe to do the marketing and the swindling and stuff that you need to do to be in Hollywood.
The networking and all of that.
Yeah. But to do the actual work, you can do that anywhere.
I would
I would think.
The technology at that point should be enough. I mean,
I think so.
Well, I guess, like, he sent her the physical manuscript instead of, like...
Well, that's Iris. That's Iris,
That's true.
Though.
Yeah. The technology should be enough. You have your
right
crazy
about that,
windows,
though, too. He should have just
hell?
emailed her a Word document in 2006. That would have been perfectly acceptable to do.
I mean, like, it makes sense that you want the manuscript, you want the physical copy to, like, edit and everything, but... But it's also like, but you're away, so just send it to her. Send her an email. Attachments. It's stupid.
Anyway, that's my feelings on the whole thing. Graham tells Amanda he's in love with her after 2 weeks.
I say that's fine.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. I'm with Cameron on this.
I think it's plausible that people can fall in love quickly. I think that's fine. I feel like I've seen it before in different relationships, you know? So I don't think that's actually a crazy thing. He might not be, like, super in love, like, where it's like, let's get married after 2 weeks. But it's the, I don't want you to leave. I like you a lot, you know, type of deal.
Okay.
I know, you're very, like, that doesn't happen. I could see it on your face.
I think it takes a lot longer than that, but it might just be different personalities.
Plus, I mean, they're spending a lot of time together. So they're probably talking a lot, and they're getting to know each other a lot, and, you know, like, the physical chemistry is there, and the emotional chemistry seems to be there. Well, the emotional not so much with Cameron Diaz, but I'm saying, like maybe more of the talking and all of that kind of stuff is there.
I'm with Cameron Diaz in this scene, too, because she says, in response to that, I wasn't expecting I love you. Jude Law is like, well, if the obvious response doesn't come up, I love you too, we should just talk about something else. But, dude, it's a bit strong.
I think he wanted to say it. He wanted to make sure that she knew, though, that he had actual feelings. Mm-hmm. And this isn't just a fling for him.
Sure. But
he probably is falling in love with her.
It's a bit strong.
I think it's a bit strong. Yeah, I see your point, but I think it's plausible.
So Iris and Miles are at brunch or eating sushi or something.
They are. I think they're at a sushi bar.
Okay. So his ex calls while they're there, and he takes it, and she wants to meet. She's saying that she misses him. And Iris is like, oh, good, she came to her senses.
I don't think she really meant it.
No, of course she didn't mean it, but she has to be supportive of her friend.
Yeah.
So he's bringing the music.
If you really want to be supportive of a friend and that happens, you just go...
Tell them the truth. Yes.
She doesn't mean it. She's crawling back to you. That's, like, ridiculous. Blah, blah, blah.
I guess it works out because, you know, he does the right thing.
He realizes it. He sees that.
Yeah. Yeah. He is bringing the music, I guess, like, he's supposed to show up, because I guess they have to go to this banquet for Arthur.
Well, yeah, why wouldn't they go?
Well, I guess because it was put together in, like, 3 days.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense, but... Well, they wanted to do it before Christmas or something, I think was the...
Yeah, probably.
Or before the New Year.
Christmas.
It was before the New Year. Yeah.
Yeah. She takes out the pages to read back at the house, and gets a call, and it's Jasper. And this fucking maniac.
Oh my god, he's gross. Gross, controlling, manipulative maniac. I like it. I hate it.
He flew all the way to Los Angeles.
To manipulate her more.
Yeah, I mean, it is to manipulate her more. This is a sociopath. This man is
gross.
This is a nutcase. Like, I know it's Rufus Sewell, so I know it's
this man wants to murder you. Like,
That's
he wants to wear your face. Like, I don't understand this guy.
Yes. This is a 2020 story getting ready to happen.
Like, I think we're supposed
to
think,
podcasts
did he actually realize how much he loved her now that she like left and like he's coming here? Well, I think that's kind of what
I think the audience is supposed to go like, girl, get rid of this guy. Like, I think that's the reaction you're supposed to have.
Yes. I think the audience reaction is that. I think she's kind of like questioning this and going, wait, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah. And we're going, no, make him leave.
She opens up a bottle of wine instead because I guess she doesn't really know exactly
I feel like it's a nervous tick. And it's like one of those, like, well, I have to be polite, let him in, and open like wine, or like offer. I think she should have offered him tea instead of wine, but okay.
Well, you're in this fancy house, you're gonna drink the wine,
right?
This girl, Maggie, tries to make up with Jack Black, and this dude is trying to be with Iris.
Right.
So we're getting this back and forth between this.
You know what I like though? Again, with the wind thing that they took advantage of, I like this because there's this big window behind Jack Black and the winds are blowing hard.
Yes, I see that. Yes, yes.
I like
Very symbolic.
that.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
The changing winds.
Yes, that's right.
That's right. Yes, yes, yeah.
The wind.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
But I think that was like I think that's what they were going for, and I like it. I think that's
Sure.
it's subtle, you know. Unless you're like analyzing it, you might miss it.
Sure. It's the visual cues of the movies. It's what movies are supposed to be.
Yes.
Combination of dialogue and visual. Rufus Sewell, Jasper, is like, I want to come back with you, blah, 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 blah. All I could think of was I wasn't getting all those emails and everything. And she stops him and is like, wait, so this means that you're not with the other girl, Sarah? I think it's Sarah.
It's like a plain
And
name.
It's very
No offense
plain
to any
name.
Sarahs, but it's just like it's different.
God.
You know, Jasper,
Just a
Graham,
shot on
Iris.
Sarah.
Well, like think about all the names. I guess Amanda's
Yeah, you're
kind
right.
of plain
Amanda's
too.
a
But
plain name. No, that's fair. That's kind of fair.
then you have a
but
Sarah. You know, you just throw a Sarah
apologies
in
to
there.
all the Sarahs out there. I apologize for my sister's brash and unneeded shot at your name.
Great. Now I'm gonna have to put out an apology. Pretend to cry like Cameron Diaz.
Yeah, when Rachel has her video called apologies to all Sarahs, and you're just like sitting there like with no makeup on. You have to sit there with no makeup on,
Right.
looking like you just like
Disheveled.
Yeah, totally disheveled, and just like
With a big thing of tissues next to me.
I try to do my best, and sometimes I say things that I don't really mean, and I just hope that all of you guys out there are supportive of me.
Just
the
never
community.
apologize. Never actually apologize. You just have to act apologetic.
Yeah,
Apologetic.
you don't have
yeah.
to actually find. If you say something that actually should be apologetic for, you should apologize. But for those
Actually
type
say,
of
"I'm
stupid
sorry."
bullshit things, yeah, those people that make fake apologies, yeah.
Yes, that's
Excellent.
that's like exactly what we were going for. Is the fake apologies.
So she goes off on him because he never really actually got unengaged with his.
No, he
fiancée.
never left his fiance. He's still
No,
with her. He goes.
he wanted
"Well,
Iris on the side."
It's complicated. I just want to be able to manipulate you and make you do things that I want you to do. And it's like,
And Rachel, I want to know what your perspective is on this, because as a man, I was like, okay, this was clearly supposed to be our you go girl moment. And I just kind of was like, and shuddered a little bit at like the, like throwing her arms up in the air and I was like, all right, I get it. I know what they're going for. It just is a little,
I mean, I don't know if I've ever had that excited squeal that she had. I've had anger screams. Like, you know.
But you're supposed to applaud. You're supposed to be
Yeah,
like,
you're supposed to get all excited that she did it. She has gumption. And it's like, I mean, I get it. She just kind of let it out, but it is a little cringy.
it's a little cringy.
That little, yes, type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I'm not a fan. I'm not
Too
a
much.
fan.
Too much.
So she picks up Arthur. He got her a flower. What's that called? A corsage.
Corsage. It's so cute. He got her a corsage.
I'm more into this relationship than any of the other
It's my
relationships.
favorite
in this whole movie.
relationship is Arthur. I love this old man.
We go to the banquet, and it's this huge room.
I
And
do
he
like that
walks
she says
in-
I like corny. Because he says
Yes,
it's corny.
he likes
it's
corny,
so
yeah.
cute. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Eli Wallach, who I like I said died at the age of 99 or 90, whatever it was. Great acting.
I'm gonna look out like for
in
every
this scene.
movie that he's in now.
It's a shitload of. It's 172
I'm gonna watch all of
movies.
them.
He gets a standing ovation as he walks
Yeah.
down the aisle.
It's very emotional. Because he, like, opening that door and having a full house, like...
I thought he does a great job of showing that on his face, too.
Yes.
Of being, like, actually moved
Yes.
that all of them were there.
And then his buddies were in the crowd. And his face lights up. It's just so lovely.
This, for me, actually... I was actually like, okay, I got a little feeling from this.
Yes.
This was the scene that actually was like, oh, I feel it. Like,
Right.
there's some niceness here. I mean, the character that he played in The Good, Bad, and the Ugly is Tuco. It's like one of the most famous, like, portrayals ever on film. But anyway, I've never seen it, though, so I can't really speak to it.
Right.
So anyway, Arthur is led down the aisle by Kate Winslet, and then he runs up the stairs. And he walks up I was like, again, I was kind of like, okay, it's still a very Hallmark movie-esque.
Yeah.
It's just that it's being acted by much better actors than the
Yes.
Hallmark movies, and it's being directed by a director,
Right.
and scored by Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
So everything
Well,
feels
that's I think
less
that's
saccharine.
yes. And I think like he gets that motivation to go up those stairs too because he hears his song.
Here's his theme, yeah.
And
yeah.
it is very corny, but it's very cute, and it is well like played in this scene that it's like, I can go for this corny. This is fine by me.
And Jack Black runs in, and Arthur's giving this speech. I can't remember exactly what he says. It's basically an old man yells at cloud kind of speech about the industry and stuff. But he's basically just he's
Which
talking
is good.
about like
That's
the good
whole
old
point.
days.
I want to hear your stories. Tell us your story.
I do agree with a little bit of his speech. He's talking about that conglomerates don't own all the studios.
Yes.
That box office results weren't reported on like baseball scores, which is true. I'm going to say this, and we'll talk about the box office
Here it
scores for
comes.
some things, just because it is, it tells a story about like what's being made.
Mhm.
That's the only reason that you as a person should care about the box office. Because if you like something and you want more of it to be made, you want to hope that it makes money, because
Right.
that's the only way more stuff of that's going to get made.
Exactly.
Otherwise, why
It
do
doesn't
you
matter.
give a shit how much money something made? Do you have stock in this thing?
Right.
Are you a producer? Then you shouldn't fucking care. Some people on the internet like live and die and like argue about like, oh well, our Avengers was better than Avatar because it's like, what do you fucking care? Like, I don't know. Anyway, that's a rant for a different day. Miles says it's over with Maggie, and then he compliments Iris and asks her what she's doing for New Year's, and she says that she'll be back in England for New Year's, and he says, well, if I go to England, I've never been there, I'll go there, do you want to go out? And she kisses him, and I'll admit that I like, these two are, again, it's good actors doing corny, shitty parts.
Yes.
They both do this silent, like, he, like, does a fist pump, like,
And then
the
she goes
meme.
like, and the
Yeah,
eyes
and she
go
does
up, and
this,
she's
like,
all
other
excited.
little thing. Like, they both, like, do this little, like, happy congratulations to
It
themselves.
is very dorky.
Yes.
But I think, and it's weird seeing Kate
It's
Winslet
charming.
being like a dork, because I feel
Yeah.
like she isn't really
a sad sack pathetic
dork.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is cute. It's something about it's charming, and it's
Yeah.
silly.
Cameron leaves, which we've kind of talked about this scene where the car's already there for some reason.
Yeah, this jackass who won't come, like, wouldn't have dropped her off.
They're going to figure out what they're going to do later. There's going to have no set rules. They kiss. She gets in the car to leave. Her heart or her esophagus issue starts again. But this time, she starts to cry.
She didn't get this. There isn't another movie, is it?
No, because that's what we said. There should be.
There
and
should
isn't
be
one.
another one here.
There should be, and there isn't one. So she starts to cry, and then she starts to laugh.
Because she's crying.
The driver is me in this situation, because he's like...
She seems like, this woman's nuts. And it's
Picked
the
up a
same driver.
nutcase.
It's the same driver as before. How
Yeah.
the hell did she end up with the same damn driver?
Bloody American.
Bloody Americans.
She asks to turn around because she forgot something, which I thought he couldn't. And then, this is inexplicable. Inexplicable. She gets out to run to the
She goes,
cottage.
oh, forget it, and then just runs.
How is that any what the fuck are you doing?
I don't
I understand
know.
it. I understand that it's she's doing it to be more dramatic and be more
It's
romantic.
supposed to be dramatic and parallel that she had that awful walk there, and now she just is running to be there, and it's this
Okay.
whole
I
thing, and it's like,
understand-
and it's like,
I understand it thematically, but it makes no sense.
No,
Have
it doesn't
the
make
car
any
not be able to
sense.
get over the... Oh, we can't because
Oh, it's icy.
Going that direction,
how did
the
he
ice
turn
is
around?
too bad.
How did he turn around? Jackass couldn't turn around at the beginning of the movie, but now he can turn around all of a sudden. Come on.
I'm just saying, none of that scene makes any sense. You have to have a reason that the car can't go back that direction, so that she has to get out and run. Otherwise, there was no point to it, and she knows it. She's only doing it to be dramatic.
Yes, and she's a drama queen. It just drives me
She's
nuts.
a drama.
She's a high maintenance drama queen.
He was crying, which Of course he was.
Which makes sense.
And then she
she left, and he liked her. And he said he cries at everything.
Right. Amanda says, why would I leave before New Year's? So they're all together then for New Year's Eve. The last scene of the movie is all of them at
a New Year's Eve party.
I think
at
it's the
Graham's.
brother's house.
It's definitely Graham's.
Yeah. So they're at Graham's house because he's got a cow.
Yeah, you got the cow. That's
all you need
where
for New
go.
Year's. Go cow tipping. Tip her over, pick her back up. So
I didn't think about that. I was thinking he's the top cow. I was gonna go with that joke, but I don't know. I guess yours is better.
You say your joke, and we'll let the listeners decide.
I said it. I said he's the top cow. He's got the top cow in his house. You gotta go there for New Year's Eve.
Yeah, top cow. Shelf life.
Isn't that what they call it?
Maybe. Sounds like another T-shirt. The last scene is all of them celebrating the new year at Graham's house. They're all dancing and partying and having a good time. The little kids are there. I thought this has to be I know that Miles is a very happy-go-lucky dude, but it has to be a little weird because you don't know.
Yeah, I think he's just really laid back. So he's like, nah, this is fine. I'll make friends like instantaneously, right? And he made friends with the kids because he's a goof. So I mean, like that was really simple for him.
Like he's challenging Amanda to dancing, and because Cameron Diaz and
I think she knew him. They must know each other.
Oh yeah, she might know him a little bit from they've worked together. Boyfriend. Yeah, that's true.
That's the only thing I can think of. So it's like not that awkward because he's like, well, I do know Amanda, so
yeah, maybe that's true. And I see like you get this little bit of Cameron Diaz and Jack Black dancing together, and it is kind of
really
like
cute though because it's like they're having a moment,
but they're also like. You can tell, like, there could be an entire movie where those two star in a romantic comedy.
I would watch it.
And that would
I'd watch
probably
the
be
hell out
good.
of it.
But they end the movie all dancing.
Well, and
Cameron,
like Amanda and Iris have like a moment together too, where it's kind of like now they feel like really connected, and like this whole thing was, I mean, no words are said, so it's like I'm just like coming up with whatever the hell came to mind while I was watching this, but like the two of them have like a moment together, and you can tell that they were like this whole thing came out good in the end, and they feel like they actually have people in their lives and blah blah blah. Like you can tell like that's what's going on, but yeah, it ends up really cute and like they're having a good time and it's a happy ending. And then like I really think that the movie guy should come back and goes, and they lived happily ever after. Honestly, feels like that happens there too.
There should have been something with the trailer voice.
Yes.
I think. But that, as you said, that is the end of the movie. That is the credits. And that means...
He does have a really nice house. It's big.
Yeah, it's big. It's a big-ass house.
That he's got money.
Yeah.
He also has widower money, though, so too. Life insurance.
So that means we have come to that point in the show...
Yes, we have.
...where we determine whether or not the holiday has shelf life. And as usual, Rachel, I will let you go first, unless you want me to go first. But, Rachel, does the holiday have shelf life?
Okay. So, for me... I'm not going to put it on the shelf. I feel like it is one that when you're in the mood for something cliche and corny, and it's like a little guilty pleasure, holiday works, and I think that's fine. It's got cute moments, it's got really cringy moments, but it works out to have in the background. But I wouldn't put it on my shelf. I guess that's all I have to say. I don't know if I have anything else.
And that's all
I'm trying to think if I have any other explanation. You kind of heard all of my opinions throughout. So yeah.
I'm actually a little surprised about that. I thought you were leaning yes based on some of your comments, but
no, I do have like rom-coms that I do like, and like Ghost obviously was one of them.
Sure.
If you watched that episode, I never watched it, and I was like, yes. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, podcast. That one surprised me, and I did like it a lot. This one, to me, is just one of those guilty pleasure rom-coms that if you're in the mood for that, yeah, I'll watch it, but I don't want it, or I don't need it on my shelf.
So, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. It does not have shelf life for me.
There's moments, though, I liked. There's moments I liked. I mean, I'm not going to say I hated the movie. I think it's...
So I'm borderline on hating this movie. I struggled.
I know.
Now, here's the problem. You explained a lot of it for me.
Yes.
And that helps. And that rears me in from going, fuck this movie, to, fuck this movie. So it's a little... You did do that for it.
Mm-hmm. It's a perspective. You got a different perspective on it.
Sure, I struggled to get through this one. It's overly long. I know that's pot calling the kettle black, but for a movie is hard to get through.
Yeah.
You can listen to a podcast in chunks, but you have to watch the movie in a movie.
Typically.
It is exactly what we said it is. It's a Hallmark-esque movie before Hallmark movies were a thing. It's just better
a big thing.
I will say this about the movie, and for those of you that like it, or for those of you that fall into the right target demographic,
you could like it.
I really can't have a solid opinion about it because I don't fall into that demographic.
I think you could still have an opinion on it. You can still have an opinion on it.
Actually, yes, that's a good point. I can have an opinion on it because it's my opinion. I don't feel very strongly about the movie. I think it's kind of forgettable.
Yeah, it's one of those like, oh yeah, The Holiday. We could watch that. That's how I see it. Like, you kind of forget about it and you're just like, oh yeah, that's fine. Leave it on.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't understand how it's considered a Christmas classic. I get how some people might find it enduring or likable because the actors are.
Yes, I think that's what it has.
It's well directed. It's well acted. Like I said, I think the structure works. It's not. It is not for me. I think it is. I think it's corny. It's cliched. I think it's boring. I think this movie's boring as fuck. It's just
not a lot happens.
It's not very engaging.
Yeah.
But if you like romance movies.
And you like the corny, you like the cliche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We both like the Arthur storyline. We both like the Arthur storyline.
Arthur's the best part of this movie. Arthur can go on the shelf. I will make a little Arthur and put him on my shelf.
There you go. So it's not on my shelf, but it never was going to be.
No.
And
nobody expected that.
No, I don't think anybody expected that when we announced that we were doing it in the intro episode to now. Like I said, it's a Hallmark movie done by people that know what they're doing, as opposed to half-assed, like Hallmark.
Yeah. Like I said, it for me, it's a guilty pleasure, where you just, when you're in the mood for it, you know, then you watch it.
I don't believe in guilty pleasure. I think you should be allowed to like whatever you like. I get your point, though. It's I'll let it be on, but you're not putting it on your shelf. No. You're not even putting it in your box, because you're not ever going to want to watch it. It's on in the background sometimes, and you're like, it's fine.
You know, if it's streamable, I'll watch it. If it's not, I'm not upset.
Yeah. So I did not fall asleep this time watching it.
But he struggled.
But I was playing games on my laptop while watching it, because I was trying to stay focused on watching it.
I mean, to be fair, I was also crocheting, so...
Yeah, it's not for me. So, that is The Holiday, directed by Nancy Meyer from the year 2006. Cross it off the list. It is not on the shelf. I have been Kevin.
And I'm Rachel.
Make sure that you clean up after yourselves when you're leaving those houses after your holiday break.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Little respect.
I want to get that cleaning fee.
Come on.
This has been Shelf Life. We will see you next time. Thanks for coming.
Roodle-dee-doo-doo, scroodle-dee-doo, roodle-dee-doo, sassy.